Welcome back to GAA Fan TV. My name is Aaron. This is the Dublin and Mayo live watch-along stream. The All-Ireland Senior Football Championship semi-finals are happening. They are happening live. And just about to watch the game, of course. Throw in about 17 minutes. And yeah, look, listen, very excited. A little bit nervous as well as a Dublin fan. I mean, Dublin and Mayo have certainly been some, they have been some of the best games down the years. And we have a couple of comments in here. So the match won't be streamed here. I'm just going to say that straight away. I'm not streaming the match here on this channel. Obviously, if you want to watch the match, you can go ahead and watch it on RTE Player. It's on GAA Go as well. So primetime DJs there saying, when will the stream be live? We're live now. We're all good. We're ready to go. So, this is a live watch-along stream. I'll be filming my live reactions to the game. Of course, for many people who are already subscribed to this channel, they'll know I do a number of previews, interviews, match reactions about everything GAA-related, podcasts, interviews, absolutely everything. But there will be no live stream happening in terms of showing the game because obviously if I was to do so, we would be deleted. The channel would be pulled down. We wouldn't be able to do so. So if you want to go ahead and watch the game, go ahead and watch it on RTE Player, GAA Go. I'm watching it here on the right-hand side on RTE Player. So, just putting that disclaimer in straight away before anyone thinks that we're actually showing the game, because that's not possible. A few comments coming in there. Adam says, up Mayo. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I mean, the Dublin ladies have started on the right track. The first win of the double has already been done. Brilliant performance by the Dublin ladies, of course, getting that victory as well. On fire there says, up the Dubs. Absolutely, mate. Hopefully it's a victory. Hopefully it's a huge win. Very nervous. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really nervous until about 10 minutes ago, to be honest. So, Adam says, geez, you're using RTE Player. God help you. Yeah. It's the only way, unfortunately, because the TV's in the other room. So there's no way to actually, so I have to use a work computer here. So if anyone's watching from the job, I do apologize. But yeah, we've got the game going on RTE Player. We'll probably be a few seconds behind, and I might freeze a couple of times. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, it will be interesting. On fire saying, I won't lie, yeah, very nervous. Me too, mate. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one, and certainly from a Dublin perspective so far this year anyways, we haven't been anywhere near our absolute best. We've been struggling, a little bit lackluster, not up to the absolute standard, and I think there's a lot of people around the country that will tune into this game thinking, could this be the game where Dublin's, 6 in a row reign finally ends? Because, look, it is going to have to end someday. It is going to have to end someday. And personally, I think when that day does come, I think as a Dublin fan, it should be, as strange as it sounds, maybe a day of celebration, because, 6 years without losing a championship game is virtually unheard of, at senior level anyways. I know the Cork ladies won 6 in a row before. They never won 7 in a row. So, I mean, it will be a huge, huge achievement. Padge there says, I'm a Dublin fan, but I have a feeling Mayo will rattle Dublin this evening. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, they could, they'll certainly cause a couple of problems. They'll certainly get in behind Dublin on a few occasions. Ryan O'Donoghue's looked very impressive so far this year. He caused a couple of problems against the Dubs last year. There's obviously no Oisin Mullen as well. He's injured. And that could be a big issue for Mayo, because I think normally what they would have done is they would have pushed Oisin Mullen further up the pitch. He would have been the free man, that license to get forward. Whereas now, looking at the team, a little more defensive without Oisin Mullen in there, and they mightn't venture their cornerbacks and their wingbacks as far forward as what they usually would have done, because Oisin Mullen usually would have found one or two. He would get a couple of points, whereas now you're looking at Stephen Conan there. I'm not too sure whether he'll get the same the same outcome sort of going forward. Where can I find the live stream here in America? GAA Go will be your best bet there. 99 Aguero says, any talk about the Kerry versus Tyrone game? Will Monaghan take Tyrone's spot? Yeah, look, I think I'm sure I'll discuss it in a podcast later in the week, but I think it's disgraceful, really, to be honest with you, that Tyrone have been put in this situation. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the COVID disease it's not Tyrone's fault. It's not their fault that their players got it. It's not their fault, that there's been multiple COVID cases happening. This is just how it goes, These are amateur athletes that all have jobs, that all have to be out and about, that all have to work away. This isn't like professional soccer or rugby or, you know, NBA or anything like that, where players can self-isolate because they're paid to play the sport. Obviously, that's not the case. So, you know, a number of Tyrone players maybe were out working, caught the disease or whatever happened. And unfortunately, through training and through, you know, meetings or whatever, unfortunately, a lot of other players have got it as well. And the fact that they haven't been given an extra week is just disgraceful, really, like, because I don't understand why you can't push it back another week. You know, like what difference is it going to make? Like Kerry going through to an All-Ireland final without having played a semi-final. I mean, it just ruins the entire integrity of the competition, in my opinion. It really, really does, because, you know, like, you're looking at it and you're thinking, how can you get through to a final without playing a semi-final? And Kerry would have then gone without a month without playing a game. And it's just so silly. It really, really is. And I really hope that the GAA can find some sort of compromise. Play the game in midweek if you need to. Play it on a Tuesday evening. Play it on a Wednesday evening. I know that's not ideal for fans. You know, a lot of fans working and having to travel from Kerry and Tyrone all the way to Dublin. But maybe you could compromise again. And, okay, there's no real neutral venue between Kerry and Tyrone. Dublin probably is the 50-50 way anyways for Kerry and Tyrone fans to travel. But that would be something maybe they could do, you know, so at least the game is played. You know, something like that. Maybe they do call Monaghan back in, but will the Monaghan players, will they have been training? I don't think they would have. You know, Banty would have said to the lads, all right, go off, have your couple of weeks break before you go to the Monaghan Senior Club Championships. Some of those players would have already gone back to their clubs. I don't think the clubs will be too happy in Monaghan to allow those players to go back training once again. And do Monaghan go back training without them even knowing? Maybe Tyrone then step in. You know, there's a lot of confusion, and it's really, really up in the air. On Far sent a super sticker there for 89 cents. Yeah, cheers very much, mate. I very much I really appreciate that. I wasn't expecting that, so I really, really, I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. What else have we got now? Adam saying Tyrone have pulled out as well. Shinny Derko says I'm in France. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. I'm actually going to be in Spain next week for the All-Ireland final, the hurling final. So, you know, I'll have to go on GAA Go or something to figure it out. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works, you know. I'm from Kerry, but even I think that we shouldn't automatically go into a final without playing a semi-final. Yeah, I know they should be playing semi-finals. I mean, to not be playing semi-finals, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It really, really doesn't, because like, that's how the competition should go. You know, so whether Monaghan steps in, Donegal, Armagh, I really don't know. I'm sure. Look, listen, I'm sure if you gave Donegal a week's break, you know, if you were to give them a week's notice to train, I'm sure they would. So I don't really know. What's going to be the situation. On Fire with another super sticker. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, here we go. Anyway, I seen Owen Merchants in the lineup there, which must have been a late change. I think that's going to be of huge importance, I think, for Dublin, because I think Owen Merchant, he's that player who will get forward. He's that player who will attack, you know, get into the spaces, and he'll certainly be a player worth keeping an eye on for the Dubs, no doubt about it. We'll see if we can get the lineup here. We'll throw a prediction on screen as well here, my own prediction for the game. As I said in the preview, I think it will be a 5-point victory for Dublin in this game. And I think Dublin down the years have been brilliant at scoring goals against Mayo. So that's what I think the prediction will be. 315 to 114. I think Mayo's fullback line is still quite vulnerable. It's a new team in there. Padraig O'Hara started, but, you know, will he be fit? Will he be available? He obviously had a rib injury in the Galway game. He was forced off, so there will certainly be a lot of causes for concern there. And I'm actually just going to have a look at the teams once again here. Let's see if there has been any late changes. Great to see fans back on Hill 16 as well. I was hoping to get a ticket to the game, but unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. But the team here, you know, Cormac Costello in there, Dean Rock, John Small. Definitely seeing Owen Merchant being started there in the team there. So Owen Merchant could definitely be the man to come into the team. 99 Aguero there. My prediction is Dublin 12, Mayo 114. Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't imagine Dublin scoring 12 points in a game, though. I couldn't imagine Dublin scoring 12 points in a game. I think they surely have to score a lot more points to get the victory, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, and Mayo scoring 114. I mean, maybe it'll be an ultra defensive game. Maybe Mayo will just completely shut out Dublin. Maybe Dublin will be poor in front of goal. Maybe they'll struggle, and that could be a reason why. But I would have to imagine that that Dublin will surely score more than 12 points, in my opinion, anyways. Just 5 minutes now till throw in. I'm gonna try update the score as we go along as well here as well, so we can all know the score together. I'm not watching this game on any commentary as well, so I won't know what if there's been any updates or anything. We're looking at Lee Keegan there for Mayo. I mean, what a top-class player he's been down the years for Mayo. He's usually a man that's hurt the Dubs down the years, actually, with a number of points, goals. I remember in 2015 he scored that goal as well. He's usually been a man that's stepped up to the mark down the years for Mayo. Still don't know if there's been any late changes here. I'm trying to have a look on Twitter to see if there's been anything. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out along the way. Frank Utah says the curse is good. Yeah, I mean, maybe the curse will happen. I mean, it would be the most Mayo thing ever to go ahead and win this game and then lose the final. I mean, I think a lot of people are predicting that. The last two teams to actually beat Dublin in the championship have gone on to lose in the final. Mayo haven't beaten Dublin in 2012 and Donegal in 2014. Because it's a thing you see quite a lot in sports. Even seen it in the Galway Club Senior Championship as well, where Corofin were beaten by, was it Mike Cullen or Mountbelly Moylock? One of the two, anyways. But whoever won the game went on to lose in the final. And Corofin had won like 7 or 8 Galway championships in a row. Like, it can be, it's quite a mental hump. You go and you beat the big team, you beat the team that has been the champions for so long, but then you're not the champion. You still need to go out and win again. We've seen that down the years. Gavin 1881 says, I'm a Dub and Kildare fan. I really think Mayo might just get the edge on Dublin because in the Leinster semi, Dublin looked really poor in the first half. They certainly did. He definitely did struggle in the first half, no doubt about it. Dublin did struggle in general in the first half. They were poor out of blocks, a lot of wides, uncharacteristic passes, and that's been generally the case for Dublin so far this year in the Meath game as well. Just in the second half, struggling to manage the game, but I do think they'll slow the game down when they need to, and they'll manage the game as well as they need to, and they'll find a way. Second half, I meant there, yeah, second half. They were. I actually think the second half they were a lot better than the first half. To be fair, I thought in the first half of the Meath game they were fantastic. Second half they were poor. First half against Kildare, just a little bit slow out of blocks, trying to manage the game. Second half really slowed it down. A little bit poor towards the end, conceding that goal, but generally, I do think the game was already done there as well. So many comments flying in here. I really do appreciate it. 36 people watching at the moment. So if you could smash the like button and subscribe, if you are new around here, I would very much appreciate it. Johnny Woodshed says here, I'm surprised that you don't see more GAA watch-alongs. Well done. Yeah, cheers very much, mate. I mean, I agree with you. I do think there should be a lot more GAA content in general, most certainly. And certainly with watch-alongs, you see them all the time in soccer, League of Ireland. Irish Footy Vlogs doing a brilliant job over there at the moment with a lot of watch-alongs, Irish Football Fan TV as well. So, something new, something different. On far says raining in Croker. Yeah, I'm not too far from Croke Park myself, and it is a little bit drizzly out there at the moment. Will it make a difference? Look, listen, if Mayo lose the game, will that be an excuse? We'll see what happens. The national anthem ringing out here at the moment. Just a few minutes from throw-in. I might be a little bit behind the actual live stream because I'm watching an RT player, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Billy Flynn says as well, I think Con O'Callaghan will have a big game today. Big player for the big games. Yeah, he's usually turned up against Mayo down the years. 2017, he scored that goal very early on. Not as quick as Dean Rock's goal last year, but it was the first score of the game from what I remember. Brilliant against Mayo in 2019 in the second half. He was fantastic from what I remember. And last year as well, he was unbelievable. Scored a goal, ran Oisín Mullen ragged throughout the entirety of the game. Oisín Mullen trying to track him all over the pitch and was certainly struggling. And, as the game went on, Dublin very much got the better of Mayo on that day. And Con O'Callaghan was absolutely fantastic. He was brilliant. So here we go. Game about to start here now. James Horan there watching on. Big game for him. Big game in his management. He obviously was the last manager to beat Dublin. For Mayo anyway, the last Mayo manager to beat Dublin back in 2012. We're off and running here. Straight away, Dublin win the throw-in and go long. Could we see a repeat of 2020 with an early goal? Kieran Kilkenny on the ball, dispossessed. It's a free in there. So Dublin winning the free early on. Certainly starting the more impressive, it must be said there. I think it's a big game for Dean Rock as well. He needs to step up. He really, really does. Prime DJ says their RT player doesn't have the match. It depends on your location. If you're in Ireland, you'll be able to watch an RT player. If you're not in Ireland, then you'll have to watch it on GAA Go. GAA Go have an app on the App Store as well. I feel like I'm selling the app here. Maybe they should pay me some sort of commission or something. But yeah, they do have an app on Android and all the usual suspects. Certainly lashing down at the moment. You can see it there on the pitch. Dublin leading by a score at the moment. Just passing from side to side. Dublin winning the Mayo's kick out there as well. And certainly this is what Dublin, I think, will do. Is they'll keep the ball, they'll slow it down, play it from side to side, whether it's Brian Fenton or Brian Howard in the midfield. They'll pass around from side to side. They'll keep it slow, keep possession. And they'll just look to frustrate Mayo. Because certainly in this game, there isn't a lot of experience on the pitch for Mayo. Even when you look at it, not having Oisín Mullen on the pitch as well, it's just it's a huge loss for Mayo. It really, really is. Mayo just playing it from side to side here as well now, just trying to get in the game. I think managing the game, Padraig O'Hara on the ball as well. I think he's going to be, of massive importance for Mayo if they are going to come through this game, in my opinion, anyways. I think Padraig O'Hara has been fantastic for Mayo. He's brilliant in the Galway game before he went off injured. And I think he'll be of huge importance for Mayo, especially in defence. Big challenge coming in there from Dean Rock, and Mayo will have a free here, chance to equalise, chance to make it a level game early on. I think the bench will certainly be an interesting one as well because, like you're looking at both benches, and Mayo, generally speaking, have had the better of the two benches down the years. Will be Jeremy O'Connor here from the free. It's a big kick in front of Hill 16. It drops short, and that is a big weakness for Mayo as well. Like, not having Cillian O'Connor is a huge miss because Cillian O'Connor nails probably, I'd say, 90% of the frees that he has. It's definitely going to be a tough one for Mayo without Cillian O'Connor, without having him on the pitch. And you've seen there Jeremy O'Connor with that effort ended up, of course, dropping short. Mayo won the ball, but Dublin, some brilliant piece of defending there from Mick Fitzsimons. Eventually does give away the free, and it's Ryan O'Donoghue now who's going to kick it in from the left-hand corner. Doesn't look like there's been any changes from Dublin from what I can see anyways here. I'm looking on the Scorpio app to see if there's been any late changes in the team. Lee Keegan named that three is an interesting one as well, but I would expect Padraig O'Hara to probably play in at fullback. Dublin leading by a point. My mistake there. I forgot to update it. Mayo winning it. Evan Comerford's kick out there as well. Matthew Rowan slowing it down. I think Matthew Rowan's been brilliant so far for Mayo. He's been very, very impressive so far for Mayo this year, and definitely an all-star form. And Mayo there looked like over carrying the ball or double hop. Something happened there anyway. They lost possession, and 5 minutes in here, and you'd feel that Mayo really just needs to get a score just to settle the nerves, to slow the game down and get back into it. Because Dublin have generally started quite fast in these games in previous years, and that's been a worry for Mayo. Lovely point there by Kieran Kilkenny. Puts it over the bar. Dublin now 2 up in this game. And Mayo struggling from the kick out. They just about get away with that one, though. They just about get away with it. They've been overran, though, and you can tell Dublin are up for this so far. Dublin are really up for this so far. And that's always been the question, is that we know that Dublin they've won 6 All-Irelands in a row for a reason. And is it a case of maybe just taking your time going through Leinster, then when the All-Ireland Championship comes around, that's when we peak, that's when we really turn up. I mean, it's still early days, yeah. There's only 6 minutes gone, but certainly Dublin have started really, really well here so far. He's done very, very well, it must be said. Cormac Costello here on the attack. Lovely play from Dublin. And that's 3 points. Lovely point there from Dean Rock. And Dublin have definitely started the brighter here. Winning a couple of early points. 3 up already. Mayo definitely struggling, it must be said, so far here. They're struggling from their kickouts a little bit as well. Robert Henley's played that one short, and Mayo are struggling. Just like, look at the pressure that Dublin are putting on Mayo's defenders here as well. Kevin McLaughlin having to drop really deep. Huge challenge came in there. Mayo just need to be patient on the ball as well. Just slow it down. Shooting from very far out there, like that's poor from Mayo, in my opinion. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure who that was there. It looked like Jeremy O'Connor, but like shooting from 40 yards there when you're already 3 down, you're giving the ball back to Dublin. Like Mayo just needed to keep the ball working from side to side, wait for the right opportunity, and when it would have eventually came, then maybe have gone for goal. But certainly going from 40 yards or so, certainly very very impossible to be scoring from there. Cormac Costello into Dean Rock. Con O'Callaghan. Padraig O'Hara is obviously picking up Con O'Callaghan by the looks of things there. And so far, we're seeing what Dublin were doing against Kildare, slowing the game down, playing it from side to side, being calm in possession. Owen Merchant in the team there, so he definitely did start. And he's of critical importance for Dublin as well, because he offers that element of getting forward that none of the other wing backs of Dublin really offer. I mean, James McCarthy can do so, but McCarthy's definitely going to be wary of what Mayo offer. And obviously not having Jack McCaffrey, not having Robbie McDade, who's injured, Owen Merchant coming into the team, really, really important player. Con O'Callaghan running off the edge, hand fist over the bar. Dublin 4 up already here after 10 minutes, and Mayo need to be careful here, because this, if they're not careful, if Dublin get a goal here and it's 1-4-0, it could be game over already. Be a long way to come back from there from Mayo, in my opinion, being 4-0 down. Mayo go long here towards Aidan O'Shea. Doesn't call the mark. This is a needed point. Has he put it over? He's put it wide. Wow. Aidan O'Shea puts it wide. It remains 4-0. Mayo needed to be scoring at. Mayo have started this game very poorly. Aidan O'Shea, it looked like he could have called the mark there. He chose not to. Played on. Put it wide. A huge opportunity for Mayo just to at least get one back, slow down the game. But they haven't done so, and Dublin are again on the attack again. Fenton plays it into Scully. Dublin will probably slow the game down, be calm in possession. Paddy Small. It's good pressure at the same time here from Mayo. Just they're not allowing Dublin to be too comfortable, and they've overturned them now. They need to be doing more of that, in my opinion. They can't retreat too defensively and try and be too defensive, because Dublin at all, they'll keep passing it from side to side until the opportunity comes. They'll do it for 10 minutes if they need to. And so far, they've been very impressive at doing so far. Here's an opportunity now for Mayo. It's Matthew Ruan. It looks like it's over, and it is. Matthew Ruan with Mayo's first point of the game. A much needed score. And certainly Matthew Ruan, who has been one of Mayo's best players so far this season, it must be said, probably likely to win an All-Star this year, depending on how the season goes. And certainly if Mayo were to come through this game, you would expect that he would potentially get an All-Star. Dublin have gone straight down the other end, working the ball quickly. Costello here going up against Paddy Durkin, turns him well, but hits it short, falls straight into the hands of Robert Henley. Dublin, very quick from the kick out there from Evan Comerford. I mean, we didn't even literally seen a replay at a point, and straight away it flew back to all of a sudden Cormac Costello was 1v1 with Paddy Durkin. But Paddy Durkin, to be fair to him, done very well there at just slowing the game down. Prime time, DJ says still raining. I mean, it's a bit drizzly. Let's put it that way. But I mean, look, listen, if we're gonna be blaming the rain for one team not winning, I think there's more problems there, in my opinion. Finally, a point for Mayo, says Adam. Yeah, much needed point there for Mayo, just to steady the ship a little bit, because the longer it goes without scoring, the harder it gets, in my opinion. Because all of a sudden you're watching Dublin hit it from side to side. They're working you, they're tiring you, and mentally it can be quite draining. We've seen that of course, with in the Kildare game between Dublin and Mayo down the years. Without doubt, like Dublin and Kildare in the last game, I should say, Dublin slowing it down. Anytime Kildare went forward, they drop a lot of chances wide, and it just took the sting out of the game. And we're seeing Dublin do it now, really kind of slow it down. Mark McDade says, is Michael Murphy not on? I don't think so, mate. No, like unless he declared playing for Mayo or Dublin in the past few hours, and I've missed that. But yeah, and obviously Donegal, unfortunately, not in the All-Ireland semi-finals. Troy Keane says, come on the Dubs. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Come on the Dubs. And it is, if Dublin do come through this game, it is looking like it will be Kerry unless they sort out the Tyrone Kerry Tyrone Kerry saga, if they find a way to sort that out, which is a bit of a joke in all honesty. I mean, how on earth, we have to take Tyrone's word for it, in my opinion. It's not their fault that their team has been ravaged with COVID. I mean, it's an amateur sport at the end of the day. We've seen what happened with a lot of the other games last year. Some of the under 20 finals, some of the minor finals. If there was COVID cases in camps, the games would be postponed. Some of the games actually took place this year. Obviously, the 2020 minor final, for example, took place this year. Those games weren't cancelled entirely. So I feel like that game should be taking place. It really, really should. But we'll see what happens, because if it was an All-Ireland final, for a fact the game would they'd hardly just call the All-Ireland and be like, right, well, Dublin have won the All-Ireland because Kerry of XYZ or whatever, Tyrone, you know what I mean? Like, On Far says, Dublin looking hot here. Mayo not at the races at the moment. Yeah. Mayo not looking too good at the moment. 5 points to 1 down. They do have a free in a good position here with Ryan O'Donoghue, and certainly they need to be scoring this because they need to stay within the game. If they fall too far behind, they will struggle. And Ryan O'Donoghue has scored that, so that's a big point there for Mayo to put it to 5-2. Because maybe going down the home stretch, if it's a 2-point game, then you never know. You might get a lucky bounce. One of the players coming off the bench might make an impact, and you might get a goal. We've seen what's happened in the hurling championship last weekend between Cork and Kilkenny, for example. We've seen it happen in football with Mark Keane's late goal. So it's not the end of the world if Mayo are 1 or 2 points going down the home stretch. But what they need to make sure is that they don't fall 5, 6, 7 points behind, because then, it starts becoming a big, big problem. But so far, Dublin have really looked up for this. They're really getting in the faces of Mayo. Reminds me a little bit of the 2019 semi-final, where Dublin in the second half just came out really, really fired up for it, got in the faces of Mayo, kept turning them over, kept scoring, got a couple of goals, a couple of points as well, and the game was over. So Mayo just really need to kind of try and keep themselves within the game. And On Far says there again, Fenton touching the ball down to himself. The man is unreal. Yeah, I mean, he's nothing short of remarkable. I mean, the fact that he made his debut in 2015 and he hasn't lost the championship game so far. I mean, it's quite incredible. Score so far: Dublin 5, Mayo 2. Should be displayed on the screen there, hopefully. Dublin so far just very much controlling the tempo of the game, passing it from side to side. Definitely one of the best teams at managing the game, and must be said, one of the best teams in the country at managing the game. That's been one of the main reasons, really, why Dublin have been so successful at winning 6 All-Irelands in a row. We've 60 people watching here at the moment. If you could leave a like and subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. If you are new around here, do a number of podcasts, interviews, match reactions, absolutely everything. I know a lot of people probably are tuning in here thinking there's a live stream happening of the game, but if you read the title, it says a watch-along stream. So Dublin have a free here after 17 minutes. This will be a chance to make it 6-2. Johnny Woodshed says, classic Dublin swarming the ball. Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. They get in the fight, and we haven't seen that so far in the Leinster Championship, and it might be one of those cases for Dublin as well, where you don't want to run out of energy, you don't want to get injuries, you don't want to run out of steam. We've seen a lot of injuries happen in the Championship so far already this year, and maybe that's been something that Dublin have been doing in the Leinster Championship is they don't want to be getting those injuries because they do have quite a thin squad compared with previous years. Gary Johnson says 5 in a row. Not too sure what you're referring to there, mate. The Dublin 80s have won 5 in a row so far, 6 in a row, hopefully, if they can get over the line against either Cork or Meath. An all 80s Leinster final between Dublin and Meath. I mean, that would be something to behold, wouldn't it? That would be very interesting. I think we're approaching the first water break here. Dublin 6 points to 2 up. And Dublin so far, definitely at the moment, have just been brilliant at slowing the game down, pressing in the faces of Mayo. Brian Fenton, I think, has been brilliant so far for Dublin. Cormac Costello has been really evolved. Con O'Callaghan, the pace he's moving at, he looks more like the Con of previous years as well. Of previous games, I should say. Gary Johnson says, my sister thinks you're a hot go, Dubs. Yeah, I very much appreciate the compliments there. Adam says here, I hate the water breaks, don't really see the point of them. Yeah, they don't really make much sense at this point anymore. They made sense at the time, obviously, because no one was really aware of what COVID could do and what it couldn't do, and swapping water bottles and everything else. You seen obviously in soccer, that's what a lot of people, that's what they were doing over there. But obviously they stopped that. Pretty sure you don't need it anymore, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, they're not really water breaks anymore. They're tactical timeouts. That's basically what they are. But yeah, so far, Mayo 4 points down. Still a lot of time to turn it around. Still very much in the game. Looking through some of the scores so far in the game. Ryan O'Donoghue with the point for Mayo. Matt Ruan with the point for Mayo as well. The 2 points they've got. Kieran Kilkenny with 2 points so far for the Dubs. He's been brilliant. And Dean Rock with 3. All of them from frees. And here are Dublin on the attack again with Paddy Small. Looked to slip as he had it, but Dublin still retained possession. Problem for Mayo is that they're working very hard to try and win the ball back, but they are struggling. They're struggling to win the ball back, and that is a problem. Like the pace Dublin are moving at. Brian Fenton as well, just gliding around the pitch, playing wonderful passes onto the likes of Paddy Small and Niall Scully. And it's early days yet, but I'm going to be honest, it's very hard to see. It's too early to say that Mayo won't win this game. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But so far, anyways, it's Dublin are just very calm in possession. But they have turned the ball over there. Fair play. They've done well there. Padraig O'Hara as well. And Mayo will just have to be patient, but they'll need to be quick moving the ball forward. And it's one of those things that they need to get everything right. And it's a very hard thing to do when you're coming up against one of the best teams of all time in Gaelic football down the years. 68 people watching at the moment. Very much appreciate anyone who's tuning in to the live watch-along stream between Dublin and Mayo. Shinny Derko says there, why doesn't Dam stream the match? Well, yeah, if I was to stream the game, like copyright issues, etc., unfortunately, there's a reason why RTE and Sky pay so much money to show the games. And if I came along and started showing the game, there wouldn't be much GAA fan TV for much longer. On Far says ridiculous skill from Paddy Small there. Yeah, what a player. I mean, he was falling as he had the ball, and then he just managed to offload it. I mean, he certainly looked like it looked like he was either going to overcarry or potentially get dispossessed. He managed to play it on. Very impressive stuff. Cheers very much, prime time DJs. I very much appreciate it. Oh, no shade there. I didn't see that there. It looks like he missed something there. Did O'Shea just miss a point from about 10 yards there? Surely not. Looked like he hit the post. I looked away there for a moment, but yeah, like Aidan O'Shea's record against the Dubs isn't particularly great. I don't think he's ever scored against Dublin in an All-Ireland final. He might have scored against the Dubs in All-Ireland semi-finals. I know in 2012 he was absolutely fantastic. Howler, yeah, absolutely. I only caught the glimpse of it there. I could see Hill 16 look like they certainly enjoyed it anyways. And it's one of those things, if you're going to be missing chances like that, you're not going to have much of an opportunity of winning this game. Let's be realistic. You know, Aidan O'Shea, he is a brilliant footballer for Mayo. There's no doubt about it. I don't agree with some people who think he's overrated or say, you know, he doesn't offer much to the Mayo team, because he certainly does. You know, scoring isn't his best attribute on the pitch. I mean, he carries the ball brilliantly. He's very tall. He's very physical. He's a great outlet. But you can't be missing chances like that. Like, let's be perfectly honest. We all know he has the ability to be putting those over the bar. On far says another week free from the ref. Yeah, there definitely has been a lot of frees here so far. That's the fourth for Dean Rock. Mayo have had 3 or 4 frees I've counted here as well. Not all of them have gone over. Well, I suppose one of them was a mark. But certainly it must be said that the game has been very stop-start. Here's another one again here, but did look like a bit of a heavy challenge maybe on Brian Howard. Seven points to 2 for Dublin anyways. Very much control in the game. 2 points for Mayo after 23 minutes. 1 point from play. That's not good enough in my opinion. Mayo came into this game with a lot of people thinking that they would win this game and end Dublin's reign at 6 in a row. And so far, Mayo have struggled. They've looked flat. We're having another look at Aidan O'Shea's opportunity here as well. It looked like he just rushed it. It looked like he hit it too quick. Panicked. James Horan looking away. He certainly knows how much of that. They're big moments. And you've seen down the years between Dublin and Mayo, you know, sometimes they've been 1 point games. Sometimes they've been 2 point games. And a lot of the time going down the home stretch, there's not been much between Dublin and Mayo. Even in the final last year, if you go back and watch it, going into the final water break, both teams were level. So there hasn't been too much to split Dublin and Mayo down the years. And when you're missing opportunities like Aidan O'Shea's just missed there from what must have been about 12 yards, 10, 12 yards, maybe even less. Maybe a little bit more, to be fair. But when you're missing opportunities like that, I mean, that's you're not giving yourself much of an opportunity, let's put it that way. Adam there says the fact that O'Shea is still playing senior football makes him a legend. Yeah, he's been around for quite a long time for Mayo down the years. Can't remember what year he made his debut, but I do remember seeing him in 2012 in that semi-final. I thought this is, you know, an unbelievable player. Was a lot more pacey in his earlier years, though. He's definitely used a lot more differently now. Johnny Woodshed says Dublin looks fresher of the two. I guess that's what happened when you sandbagged during the early part of the All-Ireland. Well, yeah, I mean, they certainly haven't had to play, you know, the highest of quality opposition in Leinster down the years. But Mayo this year, Leitrim and Sligo, two, you know, sides obviously way down in Division 4. Mayo are always going to win those games quite comfortably. And Dublin look like they've prepared themselves really, really well to peak at this stage. Conor O'Callaghan missing an opportunity there. Called a mark and missed it. Normally would put them over. So Dublin missing 1 or 2 here as well. Robert Henley. It's a poor kick out. It goes straight to Johnny Cooper, and Mayo are very much struggling here with these kickouts, it must be said. 7 points to 2. Mayo are looking like they're going to need another big performance, much like the Galway game in the second half where they really came fast out of the blocks. It's looking like they're going to need something similar and probably better, in all honesty. Paddy Small running there, dragged down. It's another free again. This has definitely been very, very stop-start here so far. And if it becomes more of a free kick taking contest, it suits Dublin more because Mayo's best free kick taker in Cillian O'Connor is not on the pitch. And obviously Dublin have Dean Rock, they've Cormac Costello who can hit frees as well. So it's always going to benefit Dublin. And I think that's a big concern for Mayo so far. Some of the frees have definitely been quite soft. There's been no doubt about that. Mayo making a change here already by the looks of things. And the Hessians coming on. And Darren McHale is coming off. So that's... is that a temporary substitution? I'm obviously not listening to the commentary here, but I mean, that's an interesting one because Darren McHale is, he's a forward and he's been taken off for a fullback. So it will be interesting to see what Mayo do there, whether they push Matthew Ruan maybe further up the pitch or Paddy Durkin. I'm not sure. That's an interesting one there now. It's looking like at the moment, anyways, that it's going to be 10 games in a row without a victory for Mayo against the Dubs in the Senior Championship. I mean, it is early days yet, and I certainly don't want to get ahead of myself, but having watched this opening half an hour or 28 minutes, I'd be surprised from here, to be honest, if Dublin lost this game. But as On Far says here, Dubs need to punish Mayo. They will never lie down. Yeah, they do need to punish them. That's absolutely right, because all it takes is Mayo to get a goal, and confidence will, be taken up to the next level. They'll be very confident. And from there, they could turn Dublin. We've seen Dublin, obviously, in the second half against Meath. Certainly looked a little bit vulnerable going down the home stretch. What's interesting about this game as well, actually, is this must be the first time in a long time that Dublin are going to be attacking into Hill 16 in the second half. You think back to Dublin and Mayo of old, back in the 2006, obviously, the whole Hillgate situation. But down the years, Dublin have usually attacked Hill 16 in the second half, with obviously Hill 16 being very much a majority Dublin-based stand. But that was very much, Jim Gavin was actually the one who very much switched that. Just a bit of food for thought there. Just a little interesting. Dublin 9 points to 2 up now, and looked like a clean enough challenge there from Brian Fenton on Paddy Durkin. He had another free again. I mean, the referee has definitely been very soft here so far, in my opinion. And he's doing it both ways. He's given Dublin a lot of soft frees, and certainly given a lot of soft frees for Mayo so far. Mayo do have a point. They've gotten one back. Robert Henley's come up there to take the free. Mayo there with their second point from place balls. Just 1 point from play so far in this game. That was from Matthew Ruan. Evan coming for its kick. Goes too long. Goes out for a throw. Or goes out for a sideline ball, I should say. If Mayo can get another score here, I mean, it would be huge. And the referee doesn't want to play the quick ball there. It is a very stop-start game so far here between Dublin and Mayo. There's no doubt about it. Was there an off-the-ball incident here or something? Does look like something happening off the pitch there. A bit of handbags from Dublin and Mayo. I mean, it wouldn't be any different, would it? Hopefully the referee just gives them all a yellow or gives a few cautions. I mean, no point sending black cards or red cards. Primetime DJ says, I'm driving around New York City listening to your stream. I appreciate that, my man. I appreciate that. New York City, very Very good city. Been in it once before. Hopefully, I'll get back there maybe at some point when the world goes a little more back to normal. Owen Merchant there, great pressure on Ryan O'Donoghue, forces Mayo to kick it out over the sideline, and Mayo are just really struggling to get their forwards into the game. Ryan O'Donoghue Mayo haven't had that same. Mayo haven't been allowed to get possession in those areas of the pitch to drive at Dublin. The likes of Ryan O'Donoghue, Tommy Conroy, who's been virtually anonymous. I mean, you nearly forget he's on the pitch. Darren McHale struggled big time in the opening 20 minutes. I mean, it could have been an injury. Maybe that's why he was taken off. But no doubt, Mayo struggling to get their forwards into the game. And you can see by the facial expressions of this Mayo team so far, like, it's just not going according to plan at all. 6 points down. Dublin just slowly controlling the game. Kicking the odd point there, keeping the scoreboard ticking. And it must be said that Mayo are going to need a big second half performance to turn this around. There's no doubts about it. Davy Byrne. I think Brian Howard's been unbelievable so far for Dublin as well. I think he's really nailed down that midfield position. Kieran Kilkenny. Owen Merchant. See, like, look at Owen Merchant here picking up these pockets of space. Like, way over in the full forward line, picking the ball up over, he's a cornerback or a halfback at best, and look at him picking up positions in those areas of the pitch. And he offers that for Dublin because he's a player that gets into those areas. He can't kick a point. Or maybe your Sean McMahons or some of the other players that have come into the Dublin side in defence so far maybe couldn't do. And some people might call this boring, like Dublin just playing it from side to side. I mean, look, listen, if you're a neutral, it is boring. If you're a Mayo fan, it's frustrating. But all the top teams do this. The best teams in the country, best club teams, best county teams at all grades, they do this. And that's what Dublin are doing so far. And Kieran Kilkenny's called the mark ahead of Padraig O'Hara. And this will be, you'd have to feel another point for Dublin. It's looking good, and it is 10 points to 3. This really hasn't been much of a contest so far. Dublin cruising, and Mayo really need to do something here. They need to do something different in the second half. I think they just need to get maybe Ryan O'Donoghue, Tommy Conroy. They need to maybe drop a bit deeper to come more into the game. Like, you're seeing Owen Merchant very touch tight there to Ryan O'Donoghue. Tommy Conroy, this is the first bit of involvement we've seen from him in the game, and he puts it wide. And it just sums up Mayo so far in this game. It really, really does. It's just looking like it's not been Mayo's day at the office so far. Tommy Conroy was scoring those points all day long in the second half against Galway. Aidan O'Shea's missing marks right in front of the goal. Dublin are winning the majority of their own kickouts, the majority of Mayo's kickouts. And it's just been super impressive so far from Dublin. It really, really has. Two minutes to half time. We will be getting a guest on here at half time to join the stream, and we'll run through the first half action. Dublin leading 10 points to 3 as we go down the home stretch. I should say we might need to Plug some earphones in here. Even looking at some of the facial expressions of some of these Mayo players so far, you would have to say, like, a lot of them even look beaten already, and it just looks like they need to press more at Dublin, get more in front of them. But it's such a hard thing to do because you're conserving you're letting go so much energy. Padraig O'Hara, who, like, Mayo have turned the ball over on a couple of occasions, but they need to move the ball quicker. John Maughan says, bad Mayo. I don't know if that's the Offaly manager or a different John Maughan, but yeah, certainly not been impressive from Mayo so far. Maybe there might be a point here. Jeremy O'Connor, Connor Loftus, I should say, over the bar. Good point there from Mayo. That's a little bit better, and you can see the fans there getting quite excited with that. With that point, it's a little bit better from Mayo. That's their first point from play since Matthew Rowan's opening score for Mayo, and Dublin straight down the other end. Look like they're hitting these kickouts very, very quick. Mayo just aren't setting up quickly enough from these Dublin kickouts. I mean, literally. Literally, we're seeing a replay, and then all of a sudden, Dublin are straight down the other end and getting opportunities. It's half time, anyways, between Dublin and Mayo. Johnny Woodshed says, love the Watchalong. Get yourself a point at half time. Yeah, I mean, I'd be half tempted, to be honest with you. I would be half tempted, but I might give it a miss this time around, because going on holidays next week, trying to save a bit. Well, I mean, there is a can in the fridge, so I don't know. You're tempting me. I'm not going to lie there. We'll see what happens. Maybe. I mean, if it was a very close game, I remember watching the Dublin Mayo game last year, and I'm telling you, there were stages in that game where you needed a drink because it was quite close. But so far this year, I mean, this has been very relaxing, it must be said. 6 points isn't a huge lead, especially based on Dublin's dominance. This isn't over. It certainly isn't over. But certainly this has been maybe this is the way Dublin are going to do it this year. This is the way this Dublin team are going to win the All-Ireland this year, is being conservative in possession, calm in possession, playing it from side to side, slowing the game down, brilliant defensively. And that's all they really need to do. Once they're playing it from side to side, waiting for the right opportunities, waiting for the right scores, they feel like that might be enough. Will it be enough against Kerry? I mean, that is the big question. Or Tyrone, what happens when that game goes ahead. But it is half time anyways. It's Dublin 10 points, Mayo 4 points. I am looking at getting a guest here on this stream. We're just waiting for Patrick to load in here. But Dublin at the moment, 6 points in front at half time. And yeah, as a Dublin fan, it's been very relaxing. Mayo really haven't been impressive at all in this game. Just 2 points from play, 2 points from place balls. None of their forwards have scored from play, and it hasn't been good enough for Mayo so far. Struggling from their own kickouts at different times. Dublin's pressing up on Mayo. The likes of Conor O'Callaghan really getting in the faces of Padraig O'Hara and the likes of Lee Keegan as well. Michael Plunkett. Like, Mayo have struggled playing out from the back, and I think with the fact that Dublin are just so calm in slowing the game down and playing it from side to side, it's it really does make... 1 second there. it really does make it draining for other teams. In my opinion, we've seen that with Kildare. They really struggled in the game, against the Dubs, where Dublin playing it from side to side. Because even when you win the ball back, you need to move it quickly, and there's so much you need to be scoring. You need to be putting it over the bar, and it's mentally draining then when you don't score, because Dublin win the ball back and know that they have to go straight down the other end and are probably going to score, or again pass the ball from side to side for 10 to 15 minutes. It's just it is quite draining for other teams, and I think that's been something that's been very impressive from a Dublin point of view. I mean, looking at Mayo's bench, I mean, what could they make any changes going into the second half? I mean, I think Tommy Conroy, like we've seen just at the end of the first half, he picked up the ball around the half forward line, around the centre, just in front of the D, and he drove straight at the Dublin team, went around one or two players. Okay, he put the ball wide, but that was the first time we'd really seen that explosiveness from Tommy Conroy. Because obviously you don't want to be dropping too deep on the ball, but you feel that Ryan O'Donoghue, Tommy Conroy, Aidan O'Shea, like they can't be staying too much in their positions. They need to be dropping a little deeper, getting on the ball, moving around. Because like you see with Dublin, Con O'Callaghan's obviously been named at 14, playing a full forward. But I mean, he'll pick up the ball at wing forward. He'll pick up the ball in midfield. He'll move around all the time. Like the Dublin forwards are always moving, like Owen Merchant picking up a space where Dean Rock's position is over a corner forward, playing there. Like the Dublin's players move around all the time, and Mayo we haven't seen that. They've been too static on the ball. They really have. Sir Klopp says surely Mayo can't play as bad as the first half. If Horan can get these boys up for the second half, then the game will be out of reach soon. If Horan can't get these boys up for the second half, then the game will be out of reach soon. Yeah, absolutely. Like they need a big performance in the second half, and I'm obviously not listening to the commentary, but I'm sure it'd be interesting to see obviously what Colm O'Rourke and Tomás O'Shea have to say there. But certainly, without doubt, Mayo need a big performance in the second half. It needs to be even better than Galway, in all honesty, because Galway struggled a lot in the second half. They didn't score, I think, until late on in the second half of that game. They were missing opportunities, missing chances. Dublin won't miss those opportunities. And Dublin won't give away possession as easily as what Galway will. Sir Klopp, we need to bring on James Carr. Yeah, I mean, James Carr would certainly be a good option. I do think, though, that there should be an element of loyalty from James Horan with some of these Mayo players. Like they certainly will need to... he certainly will need to stay loyal to the likes of Ryan O'Donoghue, Tommy Conroy, Aidan O'Shea, who've been very impressive so far this year. But we'll see what happens. Oval Evil, I think is the name there, says, I know you're a Dublin fan, but would love to see Mayo win, Sam. I mean, if Mayo were to beat Dublin, I would like to see Mayo beat Kerry in the final. I obviously don't want to see Mayo beat Dublin. But if Mayo were to beat, Dublin, I would like to see them win the All-Ireland against Kerry or Tyrone or whatever's going to happen in that situation. But certainly at the moment, it's looking like Kerry, and from judging off half time, you'd have to say it's looking like Dublin here at the moment as well. Maureen Lynch says, come on the Dubs. Yeah, absolutely. Come on the Dubs is absolutely right. And it's been very impressive. Just looking through some of the scores for Dublin in the first half. Dean Rock with 5 points. I think all of them have been from place balls. Kieran Kilkenny with 3 points. He's been very impressive. Paddy Small with a point as well. And Dublin have just been playing with such intensity. And they're showcasing it here, like the speed they've been playing with has been very impressive. And Kieran Kilkenny, between him and Brian Fenton for man of the match so far in the first half. And Mayo I don't think they're getting tight enough to these Dublin players as well, which has been an issue. Come on, you Spurs. says predictions for the hurling. I would expect Limerick would beat Cork. I mean, I'd like to see Cork win an All Ireland, even as a Dublin man. Obviously, there is a bit of a Dublin and Cork rivalry, not necessarily in terms of football, but just because it is the two biggest populated counties, or the two biggest counties in Ireland. But I certainly would love to see Limerick win the All Ireland against Cork. There's no doubt about it. We have Patrick Sharkey here joining us. I don't know if he's in the stream. Says he's here anyway. I don't know if you can hear me, Patrick, there, but yeah, I would go with Limerick to win the All Ireland against Cork, to answer your question anyway. Emma Oliver says there, Mayo are woeful. You can't miss a 14-yard free. Dublin takes so much care of the football, always giving their players maximum chance to win possession. Mayo play 3 decent passes, then a Hail Mary. Yeah, I mean, I think that miss by Aidan O'Shea really kind of summed the Mayo up so far. It really has summed up Mayo so far. Like, even Tommy Conroy there at the end, like that explosiveness, missing a couple of players. I mean, or going around a couple of players, and then obviously putting it wide. I mean, you would have, okay, yeah, fair enough. It was the first involvement that he had in the game, but him putting that wide as well summed Dublin up, or some Mayo up, I should say. If one team could beat Dublin, who would it be? Says Sean, Chelsea fan Byrne. I think Kerry are definitely the closest. But I do think if Kerry don't get the Tyrone game, I think it's a massive advantage for Dublin, because like Kerry will have gone into that game without having had a game. We've Patrick Sharkey here alongside me. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear. Yeah, I can hear you all good. What was your thoughts anyway on the first half there between Dublin and Mayo? I mean, Dublin very, very comfortable, 10 points to 4. Not really good enough from a Mayo point of view so far.
Yeah, it was a very, very strong performance for Dublin. I wasn't really surprised in anything else. Like, well, I do think Mayo will come back. Like, and I say in the GAA Stats One podcast, it wasn't going to be a 70-minute game. Look, there will be minutes add on there, and I was talking about maybe extra time penalties, but I can't really see that happening now. Like, I think Mayo will definitely be stronger in the second half, but do you know what? There's been so much. Dublin played a more defensive brand of football, and Leinster I don't think they have regressed. And all of a sudden, the anti-Dublin brigade, which as a Donegal man, I'm absolutely sick of, even though, we're victims of Dublin's success. I am sick of it, because it always seems like, that ever you go anti-Dublin brigade, but that shuts them up, and Dublin are, the best team in the country, and I don't think they've regressed over. They're just as strong as they were 7 years ago, and they're at the same level, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the first half in particular, like even seeing with Mayo, like missing Aidan O'Shea, missing that mark from about 12 to 14 yards, and Tommy Conroy missing an opportunity in front of goal that he would normally score. I mean, certainly Mayo, like with the talent that they have, like surely they should have been a lot better, but as some people have said, it is a 6-point game, and it is still a 70-minute game, so there still is opportunity for Mayo to turn it around.
Absolutely. I do expect Mayo to maybe bring it out more, and I think they will get it out there, and yeah, as someone saying you look about 12 years young, man. As a 19-year-old, I take a compliment that someone's saying I'm 7 years younger than I actually am. So, but yeah.
Back to the younger days.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, look, I couldn't take another away. It's good there, and yeah, what a win it would be for Dublin. Doing it comprehensively, and Kerry probably won't be that sharp if the semi-final doesn't go on. That's another situation. Hopefully there's some kind of semi-final made in whatever circumstances. Because it's just for the integrity of the game it's needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like from a Dublin point of view, like even as a staunch Dublin fan, I mean, it is a bit unfair on. Well, it's unfair on both teams, and it would be unfair on Kerry coming into that All Ireland final, having not played a game in over a month and a half or whatever they're saying. And I don't even know now if they're going to move the All Ireland final back to the 31st of August or what they're going to do, if they're going to keep on the 4th of September, because it does seem very, very harsh on Kerry. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, obviously, but yeah, look, that's good enough. Like, and you some good performers, but and yeah, look, I think that. But one thing that's interesting, people forget, this is the first Division 1 team Mayo have played this year. They haven't played. Obviously, if you're in Division 2, you only play Division 2 teams, and then Galway and Roscommon are now Division 2 teams. So like they've only played Division 2 games, like so like and all of a sudden, when they hammer Sligo Leitrim, Galway dominates them for large amounts of game, and all of a sudden they're put out and they're put into a proper test now, and it's just like whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely been it, because I mean, they've literally they've come through Mayo or they've come through Leitrim and Sligo, which I don't think helped anyone. And I think everyone was kind of saying that going up against Galway, which I mean, yeah, they done very well in the second half, but I think people forget as well that Galway missed a lot of opportunities in that second half. They nearly had a goal at one stage as well. Like, it could have easily been a different game. But like, do you think that Mayo maybe could produce a big second half performance like that Galway game, or could you see Dublin maybe just doing what they do best and cruising through to the victory?
Joe Brawley said Mayo are a lottery team. If they could easily get beat by they've by some Division 3 team one day. The next day they could beat the Dubs. Like Mayo, you just don't know what to expect. Like, but yeah, and you know what? Like, there's a few people off the bench. Like, bring on James Carr. I definitely bring him on. He's bundles and bundles of pace, and it's probably a credit to the Mayo attack that a player has talent can get through. And people are going to say he's too old, he's too this, he's too that. But I put on Colin Boyle. His experience is, he's by far the most experienced man out of the whole panel. That's the kind of man you need in these moments, and I understand maybe not starting him, but he definitely has 45 minutes on him to go out there and get there. And even if it's only 20 minutes, bring on Colin Boyle. I think, if that... Now, obviously, I'm sure James Horan's in the training ground. I'm sure he knows better than any of us. But still, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Johnny Woodshed says there, the danger for Mayo is that once they start going for it and committing numbers, they're going to get exposed in the back. I mean, that is a problem. But I think the problem for Mayo as well is that they haven't been... Like, they need, like the likes of Ryan O'Donoghue and Tommy Conroy, they've been too static up there. Like, they need to move a lot more, come short for the ball. Just do something different, because they have seemed to be too rigid in their formation, in their positions. And normally, maybe they're definitely missing Ushie Mullen, because normally you'd be getting the cornerbacks forward and the wing backs forward. I know you're going up against Dublin, but they don't seem to be playing to their strengths, or they haven't played to their strengths in the first half.
Yeah, and all the talk up of the weekend, was Mayo were going to go up and press on Evan Comerford. Sure, you're honestly acting like Dublin aren't going to press up on Rob Henley. Like, Dublin aren't going to try that trick on Rob Henley. Of course they're going to try that trick on him. They're honestly acting like, pressing up on a goalkeeper's kickouts is a Mayo thing. Every team in the country does it. It's just the way the game's played.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and I think maybe like a lot of people as well have kind of been looking at Evan Comerford and comparing him to Cluxton, which I think has probably been quite unfair. Like I think we need to look at Comerford at face value as a goalkeeper. He's his own goalkeeper. Compare him to other goalkeepers that are playing right now, but comparing him to probably the greatest goalkeeper of all time is probably a little bit unjust. Like, I think Comerford, if he keeps producing good performances, making good saves, I mean, he could easily win an All-Star. It's not impossible, looking at the teams that are remaining. So,
yeah, and I would also say, that's absolutely a point, and and not just as he replacing the best goalkeeper. To me, I actually think he's replacing the best player in Gaelic football history. So, some people are going to say, your calm keepers, Peter Kavanagh's, but to me, he came on like but obviously, it's for another day when we can reel back on the great legacy of Stephen Cluxton. But that's brilliant for him, and Yeah, so it's going to be a tough one. Like, and Stephen Cluxton's likely retire. No, it'd be very disrespectful if Stephen Cluxton all of a sudden showed up for the All Ireland final. So I just feel, it is Evan Comfort's year, and it was nearly a case of, yeah. So yeah, look, I think, Evan Comfort, all he needs is experience, and you look at Dublin's defence, players like Mannion, they'll have him well covered, and I feel, look, the goalkeeper's important, but it's just about getting up to speed, and it's a wee bit below par, but I think it might just hurt him, because you're not gonna act like Kerry fans aren't acting like Shane Ryan, some kind of a miracle worker either.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was dropped for the league games. Obviously, Kieran Fitzgibbon came in, so it'd be interesting to see what happened there. Dublin, actually, the second half has started, and Dublin nearly scored straight away there. Actually, James McCarthy was running straight through from the throw in. But yeah, before you go, anyways, I mean, where can people find the GAA Zone podcast, anyways, for anyone who's who's interested?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. I've only ever put 2 videos on the YouTube, but it's definitely, if I've sung I get more time on, I'll definitely look at that there. Like, but coming up on Monday, I have one with GAA Statsman previewing the on-final, and Dave Dempsey off Lift Upward. I'm recapping the off-league season, and I recorded the Kerry v Tyrone preview this morning, but it might be dead pointless considering that goes it. But I'm waiting till tomorrow night to see if there's more clarification, and I'll see what's edited in or out of it. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, cheers, Patrick. Anyway, for tuning in, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye.
So there we have it. Anyway, second half is underway. Dublin still 6 points in front. James McCarthy had that early opportunity there, going through on goal. Mayo starting to go long, and Aidan O'Shea has it. Looked like he kind of just threw the ball to himself there. Mayo definitely trying to go a little bit long. I mean, they definitely need to be doing something different here in the second half. I mean, he literally just threw the ball on the ground there. So I mean, surely that's a free out. I'm sure. Like, Dublin Newcastle says, do you think Mayo have brought this on themselves? If only they helped the poor priest in 51, it could have been so different. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, I don't believe in any curses or magical rituals. I mean, Cillian O'Connor had a brilliant opportunity going down in 2017. Or was it 2016 or 2017? He hit the post and then Dublin go down the other end. I mean, it's just been bad luck. It's, Oren Duffy says, come on, Mayo. I mean, they're certainly running at Dublin here in the second half anyways at the moment. They're certainly driving. And look, Ryan O'Donoghue's dropping a little bit deeper here. This is what they need to do. This needs to go over. And it does. It does go over. So, I mean, it is a 5-point game, and I mean, Dublin in the second half against Meath, they had an 11-point lead at halftime. So, it's not inconceivable that Mayo don't turn this around, but we'll see what happens. I've seen a few people asking for the score there. It should be displayed on the screen. It should say there, Dublin 10 points, Mayo 5 points. There should be a banner on the screen there. Hopefully, anyways. Hopefully people can see that. But it is 5 points. Great score from O'Donoghue, yeah, absolutely. And he's getting more in the game now. And Mayo are definitely just starting to come more alive here. Kevin McLaughlin with an outside of the boot effort. See, like, Mayo, like that's a little bit poor for Mayo. Like, I think that's been what's cost them a little bit so far in this game. I understand that they're quite a fearless team. They don't show much fear. They wait for the right opportunities, or they just go for it. They believe in themselves. But a player of Kevin McLaughlin's experience there, I mean, he's been around a long time for Mayo. Really should have just kept the ball there and just kept possession. Because Dublin will slow the game down, as you're seeing here now. Evan Comerford into Owen Merchant, who has certainly been a candidate for man of the match so far, in my opinion. We'll see in the second half. Davy Byrne here getting forward. Dublin would want to be wary that they don't lose possession with Davy Byrne being so far up the pitch there. And Davy Byrne there dropping the ball. A little bit of an error, maybe just, 5 minutes gone here so far. And Mayo will just grow with a little more confidence. And as On Fire says there, Mayo will have a purple patch at some stage. That's a given. But Dublin just have that ability to close it down. Absolutely. But what I would say is the only time really where Dublin have been under the cosh this year against Meath, they did struggle. So we will see what happens here. But Dublin do have a lot of numbers back. And it's one of the things that probably doesn't get discussed enough is that Dublin are the best defensive team in the country. I mean, when you're looking at the screen now, I mean, Dublin have everyone back. And there's a long pass there, which just kind of, funny enough, the camera angle we were able to see there, but you can see there that Dublin have almost everyone back. Like Conor Callaghan's running back there defending, Kieran Kilkenny's back there defending, and it's just so hard to break through. And when you look at it, how many goals have Dublin conceded in the championship down the years, or in the past couple of years, didn't concede a goal at all in last year's championship. All right, they conceded against Meath and a brilliant goal from Daniel Flynn against Kildare, but generally Dublin are very good at shutting out teams from scoring goals. And they'll let you have the ball if you want to shoot from 30, 40 yards, by all means, go for it, but it's going to be very difficult. And Paddy Durkin there gives the ball away. Dublin or Mayo unable to just find those pockets of space. You get the feeling it might be a bit of a low scoring half in the second half. Oren Duffy says, what do you think of Tyrone GAA? Yeah, look, listen, I mean, Tyrone they've got a good number of young players coming through at the moment, like Paul Donaghy, who's looked very impressive, and Dereck Canavan as well. And you've obviously got top class forwards and Cathal McShane, who's one of the best forwards, in the country on his day. Conor McKenna's unbelievable as well. Plenty of talent in that Tyrone team. And I think over the next couple of years, I would expect Dublin, Kerry, and then I think Tyrone will come close. Whether Mayo could, Mayo will probably be thereabouts, but looking into the future, personally, I'd look at Tyrone as winning an All-Ireland sooner than Mayo, which might upset a few Mayo fans, but that's just how I see it at the moment. Unknown Jake says, look, Mayo need to get the chance to get advantage, but Dublin players just too rough. Mayo needs the chance to close them off from breaking their point. Yeah, Mayo do need to kind of just get Dublin are very aggressive in the tackle and they're very physical. But it is one of them as well where, like, with Dublin having the ball here, you don't overcommit, because if you overcommit on a challenge and try press too hard, Dublin will play it through you and find the spaces and, find the way through and score a goal. Like, if Dublin get a goal here at this stage, you'd feel it's probably game over. Conor O'Callaghan running through here. Hand passes it off the post. Padraig O'Hara comes away with it. I mean, Mayo will be growing in confidence with the fact that, we've played 10 minutes nearly here in the second half and Dublin haven't scored. But just as I say that, Padraig O'Hara running forward, gives the ball away. Kieran Kilkenny wins it back. And Dean Rock now is surely going to put that over the bar. No, he's not. That's it's going a million miles wide there. Nearly curled back in, but definitely wide. Hopefully it will be like the Mayo v Galway game. Mayo may have a chance in the second half, says Maeve Finnerty. Yeah, I mean, they need to rack up a couple of more scores, but certainly so far in the second half they've done well. They're getting more ball. They're being a bit more aggressive going forward, dropping a few more players short. The problem is for Mayo, though, is that Dublin are just so well defensively setup. Like, they get so many men back and they make it so hard to run through. And I think what's happening is it's forcing Mayo to move the ball very quickly, almost too quickly. Like you seen there, they offloaded it into Tommy Conroy, who ran out over on the sideline. Because Mayo know that if they keep the ball for too long, Dublin will retract into their defensive shell, get so many men behind the pitch, and then it's going to be very hard to score. Whereas if you move the ball quickly and you get it right, you could be in for an opportunity of a goal or a point, a guaranteed point. And I think that's the problem for Mayo. There's not many teams that can break with the ball so quickly, and beat a side like Dublin and get it right every time. Donegal 2014, probably the last team to actually do that. Like the way when they broke on Dublin, who had left players in behind, Donegal they took their opportunities. They really, really did, and that was one of the main reasons why they won that day. Dublin's lack of goals and goal opportunities might be worrying. Don't seem to be cutting the fences open as we used to. Yeah, the same. The same pace just isn't quite there. So far in the second half. In the first half, the intensity was really, really there, but whether Dublin are maybe starting to tire a little bit, I'm not sure. I think they're just more fixated on slowing the game down more now. And you have to remember as well, they don't have that same... Like when you think back to the 2019 final, you had Jack McCaffrey at wing back, you had Owen Merchant at cornerback, James McCarthy at wing back as well. Like, he just had so many players that were brilliant at getting forward. They'd create more space. And so far, obviously with recent retirements, that's not quite the case anymore. Cian Callahan says, nice to see Mayo win. It'd be good for Mayo fans. Certainly would. Johnny Woodshed says Dublin's speed is too much. Yeah, in the first half, they were so quick out of blocks, and it rattled Mayo. It really, really did. And they struggled to get up to the tempo of the game. But look, listen, we're nearly coming up to the second water break, and Dublin still haven't scored in the second half. Tommy Conroy here, just shutting them out. Ryan O'Donoghue on the ball. Mayo just waiting for a right opportunity. Be a big score if they can get one here. And Enda Hessian, who came off the bench. Did he overcarry, or was there an off-the-ball incident there for a free? We'll see what happens, but 10 points to 5 here so far in this game. With about 22 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. I was planning on doing a live watch-along stream for Kerry and Tyrone as well, but obviously that game, as we know, isn't happening tomorrow. So hopefully that game happens next weekend. I mean, hopefully they find a way, I don't know, play the game on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Like, the game needs to go ahead, in my opinion. It really, really does. May Finnerty says, what is the weather like in Dublin as it's lashing in Mayo? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely windy. It's miserable. It's drizzly from what I can see here. It's you wouldn't want to be outside on it anyways, and it probably is having an effect in the game, you would have to say, because from looking outside there anyways, it does look very, very windy. So whatever way the breeze is blowing, maybe they're saying it in commentary, might have had a big effect in the first half. Cormac Costello's going off. Colin Basquel is coming on. Still 20 minutes to go. A little bit early there. I don't know if that's an injury. It's a big point by Robert Henley. It's a 4-point game. And Mayo have brought the game back down to 4 points. So Dublin need to get a score here, because like what have we played here? We've played 49 minutes so far here in the game. And Mayo have overturned Dublin straight away there from the kick out. Big opportunity here for Mayo. If this goes over, there'd be a huge roar on Croke Park, but it hasn't. It's gone wide there. It was a big opportunity there for Mayo. It was James Carr who came off the bench and put that wide. Brian Walsh has come on as well for Mayo. And obviously Dublin have brought on Colin Baskell for Cormac Costello, who has been relatively quiet so far in this game. Hasn't scored. Good defensive work. Like, he's won the ball back a couple of times. Brilliant at pressing. But yeah. Deck Hardy says, Gaelic football stink, awful to watch. I don't know what Gaelic football is now, to be honest with you. I've heard of garlic dips, all right. You know, they're good with a pizza, but I've never heard of Gaelic football. And this, unfortunately, is not the place to be watching Gaelic football. King Callahan says, leave. Yeah, you know, I mean, you don't want to watch the game, but you watch a stream. I mean, fair enough. Whatever way to pass the time. Mayo win the ball back again, and Dublin are struggling here at the moment. They're getting so many men forward. Matthew Rowan's on the ball into Lee Keegan. Is this going over? It is. It's a 3-point game. It's a 3-point game, and suddenly, I mean, what is going on here? It was a long ball from Noel Scully into Mick Fitzsimons, who got too far forward, and it just left too many spaces in behind. Mayo go down the other end and score. And this is a bit like the Meath game all over again. Because if you remember the Meath game, Dublin scored more points in injury time than they did in the rest of the game, in the rest of the second half. They only kicked 2 points up until injury time. And then they kicked 3 points. And going into the water break here, there's 3 points in it. Dublin haven't scored in the second half, and they really need to get going here, in my opinion. I need to update the score here as well. 10 points to 7. You'll see the score on the screen there. Adam says Mayo comeback. I mean, yeah, and like, I don't think Mayo have been unbelievable in the second half. They've definitely done a lot better defensively. They've done really well at winning the ball back. And they've been more patient in possession. We're seeing Ryan O'Donoghue and Tommy Conroy dropping a little deeper, getting more on the ball, getting more possession. And it is causing a problem. Aidan O'Shea looks to have gone off there by the looks of it. Yeah, Aidan O'Shea's obviously gone off for Brian Walsh. So whether that was a tactical change or an injury, I'm not sure. But certainly the Mayo changes have definitely made a big impact in the game, in my opinion. Like, you're just looking at it there so far. Brian Walsh, James Carr have got really involved in the game, and they've just caused a couple of problems so far. And it's a 3-point game now going down the home stretch, and Dublin, Dublin need to do something different here. Eileen Boone says, have they lost? They haven't. I'm not too sure who we're referring to, but the game, still 20 minutes to go. No one's lost yet. Dublin leading 10 points to 7. You should see the score there on the screen. Played out there to Brian Howard from the kick out. Brian Fenton now on the ball, plays it into Scully. Dublin slowing the game down, but they definitely need a point here. Dublin have Colin Baskell there playing quite a little bit of a risky pass out wide to Brian Howard. Brian Fenton now on the ball, being put under massive pressure by Matthew Rowan. Plays it into Kieran Kilkenny, back into Paddy Small. Is this going over? It's looking good. It is. It's over. Dublin have kicked their first point of the second half. It comes on the 52nd minute. Lovely bit of play there into Paddy Small. Kieran Kilkenny won the ball initially, played it into Paddy Small, puts it over. It's a 4-point game. It's the first time in the second half where Dublin have looked good, and they've straight away cleaned out one of the Mayo players there, and Dublin are on the attack. Colin Baskell driving straight through the middle and puts it wide. Huge opportunity there. I mean, if that goes over, it's probably game over. One of the Mayo players down on the pitch here. Doesn't look too good there by the looks of it. James Horan isn't too happy at all. Yeah, James Horan looks very upset there. I mean, if it was a head injury, I mean, it'd be understandable to stop it, obviously. But I'm not too sure there what happened. Alan Ryan says, come on, the Dubs. A shout out from Liverpool. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And I'm a big Liverpool fan as well, who last time I checked, they're winning 3-0 at the moment. So I don't know. I don't know if you're a Liverpool fan, but cheers very much for the shout out anyways. Dublin, 11 points to the good here. 11 points to 7 to the good going down into the final 15 minutes. There could be extra time. We could be going for a while yet, you know. We'll have a look here. It was Owen McLaughlin on the ball, and that was a heavy hit in fairness. And it doesn't really look too good either. Like, they've brought the stretchers out on the pitch. Yeah, that really didn't look too good. Hopefully Owen McLaughlin's all right there. The way he just fell to the ground as well, like that. That really doesn't look too good, to be honest with you. Lauren Tracy says, up the Dubs from New Jersey. Cheers very much. I was in New Jersey actually before, believe it or not. I didn't intend on being there, but I ended up there. So, yeah, very nice place, and not quite New York, but it's close enough anyways, I suppose. On Far says, big hit but fair. Yeah, we're gonna have a look at another sec here. Look like a fair hit, I suppose. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's fair, isn't it? I mean, it's done a huge bit of damage by the looks of it, and we're almost having a second timeout here, or a second water break because of what's happening. Dublin fan, Liverpool fan, really. I'm the complete opposite. Mayo fan, Man United fan. Yeah. You can't win sometimes, I'm afraid, Maeve. You can't win. But, I mean, look, Man United are looking very good at the moment. Yeah, I mean, they'll finish above Liverpool, I think, this year, in my opinion, anyways. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, it was a heavy. He kind of leaned in with the shoulder a bit, you know, and the elbow kind of just shrugged him off. But like, they're playing at such high intensity, high velocity. I don't. Yeah, it wasn't intentional, you know. So I don't think it's a red card or a black card or anything like that. Heavy challenge, but it wasn't intentional. But hopefully he is all right. Adam says, looked like he was knocked out. Yeah, it did look like quite a heavy challenge. And look, listen, fingers crossed he's all right. Fingers crossed he's okay. Owen McLaughlin's been a tremendous footballer for Mayo down the years. What am I even talking about? He came into the team last year and he was brilliant for Mayo. Very explosive wing back at getting forward, overlapping, getting in big pockets of space. Brilliant at taking points and just adding a different dimension to Mayo's attack. And look, listen, he'll be a miss on the pitch as well. You know, obviously thoughts first of all go out to him. Hopefully he's okay. But he's going to be a big loss for Mayo here as well. Hopefully he's all right. Standing ovation from all fans, I'd imagine, in Croke Park. Yeah, looked like a fair hit. 108 people watching here at the moment. I mean, that's a lot of people. So thank you very much for anyone who's tuning in, watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you can. I'd really appreciate it. Mayo lose possession there from the restarted ball. Dublin now on the ball with Kieran Kilkenny. Plays it back into Brian Fenton, who in turn offloads it into Mick Fitzsimons. Davy Byrne now on the ball. Oh, I need to get a bit comfortable here. Paddy Small. Chance here for Dean Rock. Just take the points, and he does just about over the bar. Just about over the bar there. 5-point game now. Dublin have kicked the last 2 scores. So Mayo need to get themselves back into it here. They will be added on time, so we've got 58 minutes going, but I think probably 6 or 7 added minutes. 5 minutes for that stoppage, and probably another 2 minutes, you'd have to say, at least. Mayo have brought on Jordan Flynn, who is an attacker, so it will be interesting to see where he lines up. Owen McLaughlin obviously had to go off. Hopefully he's okay. A couple of incidents off the ball there, and Mayo have it back. Dublin playing with this press again that we've seen in the first half. Mayo just need to be calm in possession, kick a score. Jared Hutt says, up the Dubs. Come on, Desi and the lads from a roast in Marbella where I can't find the live stream. So you are my feed. Great work. Cheers very much, Jared, there. Very much appreciate it. Enjoy the holidays in Marbella. I'm sure the weather is much better than what it is here in Dublin anyways, because it's miserable here in Dublin. And 5 points now going down the home stretch, the last 10 minutes. It's been a very low scoring game, like Dublin managing the game very, very well, and we've definitely seen this Dublin team evolve from a swashbuckling attack, a team that scores 218, 219 a game, to being very composed and organised defensively. And that would have been a brilliant score there from Matty Rowan, but he dropped it short into the hands of Evan Comerford. That would have been a big point just to bring it down to 4, and Dublin probably just going to recycle possession from here. 10 minutes to go, plus injury time. Man of the match is a tricky one so far. I mean, Paddy Small's been good for Dublin. Kieran Kilkenny's been very impressive as well. Owen Merchant's been impressive. Brian Fenton as well. Tim says Cork would bait you. Maybe a hurling, fair enough, but not in the football, I don't think. But look, listen, I'd like to see Cork win the All-Ireland next week, but we'll see what happens. I would very much expect Limerick to get the better of Cork. You know, Limerick kind of remind me of Dublin at the start of their peak, kind of 2013, 2015 kind of era. 2016 as well. Matty Hill says, has anyone got a goal? No one's got a goal so far. 12 points to 7 is the score. Cat Ryan says, how much time left over? We've got about 8 minutes left in the game. And 8 minutes left in the game, and plus extra time as well, or injury time as well, we must be said. So there will be a large chunk of extra time, you'd have to say, in this game. Robert Henley, this is a big kick here now from Mayo. Will he be able to put it over? Because if he puts this over, it's a 4-point game. And like I said before, if Mayo have this game down to 2 points, Mayo still have the ball. That's a brilliant bit of work actually there from Jeremy O'Connor. And Kevin McLaughlin should put that over, and he does. That's a good point from Kevin McLaughlin. And Mayo have found a way to work that score. It was a 45 from Rob Henley, dropped short. Brilliant bit of work by Jeremy O'Connor, who slid in and just lovely little volley there back into Kevin McLaughlin. That was a nice score. So 12 points to 8 now to score, and Mayo straight away on the attack again. They've won Evan Comerford's kick out. Mayo on the attack. Racing forward. Lovely bit of play. Is that going over as well? The fans seem to think so. The stewards think so as well. And that was one of the substitutes who came on there who put it over the bar. I think it was James Carr. Jordan Flynn, actually, as a matter of fact. Cat Ryan says in the UK, can't see, appreciate this. Yeah, no bother. No bother at all. Come on, Ballina. John Mon says, up Kerry. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's gone to Hawkeye, but it is over the bar. So 3-point game. Ooh, it's Fergie time now. I mean, not quite Fergie time, but we're getting close. We're getting close to it. Up the Kingdom. Peter Keen's at the wheel. Yeah, we'll see what happens in a few weeks anyway. Owen Merchant down here at the moment. For anyone new who's watching this, if you could leave a like and subscribe, very much would appreciate it. Do a number of match reactions, podcasts, interviews, fan interviews, a number of different watch-alongs on the channel as well. So if you could subscribe for free, very much appreciated. Sean McAvoy, yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that very much. Dublin just slowing the game down here now, but they do need to be a little careful here now because it's all good slowing the game down. Evan Comerford here, a little bit risky, and must have overcarried the ball and gets a push there from Kevin McLaughlin for his troubles. And Mayo have Dublin on the ropes a little bit here at the moment. The referees brought it a little bit closer as well. Red for Life says, what's on the clock? 4 minutes left with injury time as well. There's at least 5 minutes left here in injury time. So, Ryan O'Donoghue puts it over. Like, I'm not watching the game, so I can't sample the atmosphere. Well, I am watching the game. I mean, I'm not listening to the commentary, so I can't sample the atmosphere. But look, listen, I'm sure the Mayo fans are on their feet. This is a big kick out now from Evan Comerford. I need to update the scoreline here as well. Big kick out here now from Evan Comerford. Two points in the second half from Dublin. I mean, Dublin have just looked very sluggish in this second half. Brian Fenton wins the kick out. That's a massive kick. A massive kick. Catches it brilliantly. You would wonder, are Dublin overcoached a bit? Too much passing from side to side is all well and good, but they're starting to get overturned now, and Mayo will believe here. It's a 2-point game, and if they get another score, it's a 1-point game, and you've still got injury time as well. John says, is Mayo winning? 2 points. Dublin 12, Mayo 10. Mayo on the attack. Mayo's bench has been really impressive. They do get dispossessed there, though. It was Conor O'Shea who came off the bench, was just driving at Mayo there, or driving at Dublin. Dublin won the ball back, but lose it. And then Colin Basquel, who came on, hanging on to the ball. Dublin trying to slow the game down as much as possible here. Like, you've seen Colin Basquel win the ball there, just hang on to the ball, almost hug the ball. Dublin really bringing out the dark arts here and showing how much of an experienced team that they are. Long ball into Conor O'Callaghan. That's a silly pass, in my opinion. Like, just keep the ball. There will be a match reaction after the game as well, so stay tuned for that. As soon as the game ends. We might be going for a while, though. We've been going for an hour and 50 minutes here so far. We might still have a bit more to go. James Carr. Now Tommy Conroy. Is it over? It is. It's a point in it. It's a point in it. Tommy Conroy with a wonderful score. Oh, dear. This isn't looking too good now. Like, Dublin are really struggling here. Like, see, they're passing it from side to side, but it's too, like, it's just too slow. And now they're going for those forward passes. Like, if the space is there, kick in there. Because we're not just going to win the game with 12 points here. We're going to need a few more. And Kieran Kilkenny played it in to John Small, who looked like he was fouled, maybe. It's a little bit of a push, in fairness. I mean, some would say that's a bit soft, but I think it was a foul. He was going to get the ball there. 7 minutes of injury time. Mayo fans definitely on their feet at the moment. We certainly wouldn't have seen this at halftime. It was, 10 points to 4 at halftime. And as a number of people said, like, it's not over. It definitely wasn't over. Like, 6 points isn't, it wasn't 16 points. This is a big kick here now for Dean Rock. If he misses this, I'd be really worried. But he doesn't miss. Of course it goes over. Not a bother at all. 13 points to 11. A little more breathing space for the Dubs. Mayo go short from the kick out. Just playing it out from the back. Trying to be calm in possession. Dublin well defensively set up as well. 6 minutes to go. Paddy O'Sullivan says up the Dubs. How long left? There's about 6 minutes left in injury time. So +7. We're on the 71st minute. Maybe he might play an extra minute, but Mayo, like 2 points in it. You've seen what happened with Mark Keane's goal last year. Like, anything can happen when you're one kick of a score away from a goal, and that's the big difference here. Kevin McLaughlin plays it into Ryan O'Donoghue. He offloads it brilliantly there into James Carr, I think. And he's put it wide. Or is it Hawkeye or is it wide? I think it's wide. Yeah, wide. A lot of comments flying in there. Anna O'Brien Moran says Hon Mayo from the Canaries. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a lot of celebrations there if Mayo get the victory. Well, from Mayo fans anyway. Well, from anyone from Ireland, not from Dublin anyways. Paddy O'Sullivan says, how's Paddy Small playing? Yeah, he's been very impressive, like 2 points so far in the game. We've been turned over too much, though. We just got turned over again there, and that's been just a bit of an issue. It's just at times Dublin just a little bit sloppy in possession. Like, I'm looking at this game, it's very hard to see how we beat Kerry. Like, we might get away with this against Mayo, but against Kerry, you would be a little bit worried. Watching from the Sunshine Coast. Fair play, yeah. I'm not too sure. Is that Australia? I'm not sure. But yeah. It's Mayo have overturned the ball here. Oh, there's definitely been a foul off the ball there. Surely the referee's going to give it free. Yeah, he is. Player dragged back there. Looked, 100% a foul off the ball there. You could see, was it Lee Keegan dragged back or Kevin McLaughlin, I think. You could arguably say that's a black card. You know, it's not like it is a cynical foul. Be interested. He's consulting with the. Maybe he's going to give a yellow. This would surely bring it down to a 1-point game. Cat Ryan says there 4 minutes left. Yeah, 4 minutes left in the game. Mayo will surely put this one over the bar, you'd imagine. Ryan O'Donoghue. I mean, again, that narrative of Dublin's bench not being that strong and Mayo's bench being strong, it is showing here because like you're looking at Mayo's bench and James Carr's made a massive difference. Brian Walsh as well. You know, like Mayo's bench here is driving at Dublin. They're doing what some of the Mayo players weren't doing in the first half. Some of the more experienced players. Jordan Flynn, been brilliant. James Carr as well. Dublin on the ball with Davy Byrne. He's playing a dangerous game here with James Carr chasing him. It's definitely squeaky bum time here. 13 points to 12 so far in the game. 1 point going down the home stretch. This is very 2017-esque, if people remember, when Dublin just, for the final, like 2 minutes after Dean Rock's score, just played it around the back from side to side. You know, like, it was dangerous stuff. Like, a few people asking where they can see the game. Should be on RT. Jesus, Dublin are, whoa, Jesus, and they've been ran out over the touchline. So 45. They were playing with fire, and yeah, it's surely going to be level here. Robert Henley is surely going to put this over the bar here, and this looks like it's going to extra time. But yeah, you can watch the game on RT Player, GAA Go, depending on your location. Holly Doc there says how long to go. There's about a minute to go here. A minute left in injury time. 76 minutes on the clock. Give us your best 2-minute commentating. Yeah, I mean, here we go. Robert Henley. Oh, he's put it wide. He's put it wide. He's put it wide. And that was a big moment there. But is he going to take it again? What's going on here now? He's taking it again. What? What's going on here now? Where's this referee from? Like, what? Like, how can he take it again? I bet you he'll still miss it now. How can he take it again? I mean, unless I missed something. Was there a foul in the build-up? I don't know. Here we go then. I mean, this is it, really. There might be 1 or 2 more attacks, but like, Robert Henley needs to score this here. We've played 77 minutes, so it's up to the discretion of the referee if after this. Here we go then. You've been given another chance, Robert Henley. Is he going to score? Huge pressure, huge moment. It's over. He's put it over. He gets another opportunity, puts it over the bar. It's all level. I'd love to see, and I'd love to know why, but I don't know what that was for. Something's happened off the ball here as well. Tell you what, the nerves are tingling here now, because I think Mayo have a serious chance of winning this. I'm like, Mayo have a really big chance now. Dublin have been rattled. They've been so poor in the second half. 3 points. Really, really poor. So Mayo have a huge opportunity here now. Huge opportunity. Philly McMahon coming on, getting involved. I mean, he certainly loves a good tangle with some of the Mayo lads. Aidan O'Shea getting involved as well. I mean, you have the subs getting involved, the bench. Don't know why the bench are on the pitch. It's definitely going down the wire. Ray says, don't even know how... I'm not even going to read that out. I missed what happened there, but it's extra time, is it? Extra time. Extra time. Wow. 13 points apiece. It goes to extra time. Penalties is definitely still an option as well. Whew. And breathe. 13 points apiece. I mean, so poor from Dublin in that second half. I mean, like what? Like 3 points in the second half. It was the same against Meath as well. I've ran out of excuses. I really do. If Dublin might win this game, but I don't think they're beating Kerry. Like, I'm just gonna say that now. Like, I just don't see it. It's just really poor in the second half. Like, fair play to Mayo. Give Mayo credit. Their bench made a massive difference. James Carr, Brian Walsh, Jordan Flynn. Like, the energy they brought. Obviously Jordan Flynn came on for Owen McLaughlin, and fingers crossed Owen McLaughlin's okay and it's not a serious issue. But I mean, Dublin were just so poor in that second half. Like, really poor at moving the ball, getting forward as well. They just weren't. Con O'Callaghan non-existent as well. On fire says Dublin falling asleep again. Yeah, absolutely. You know, once again, it was the same in the Meath game, and we've seen it again. And I don't know what you think, mate, but I'm running out of I really do think that the 6 in a row might end here. Maybe Dublin might get over the line today, but there's a huge opportunity for Mayo here. And like, Mayo have been, don't get me wrong, Mayo have been brilliant at overturning the ball, but it hasn't been like unbelievable. Like, they've still missed chances. Robert Henley missed that 45, and okay, he gets another chance at it for whatever reason. But yeah. Holly says, where can I watch for free? RT Player, GAA Go. I'm sure you can see it there. I mean, GAA Go, you'd have to pay for it, but plenty of ways to find it. You know, I'm not an advocate of illegally streaming a game, you know, but it is an option. Luke Toomey says Dublin scored 1 point from playing the second half and 2 frees. Yeah, like, just so poor, really poor. Like, we're saying in the second half, or we're saying about Mayo in the first half that that Mayo only kicked 2 points from play in the first half. But Dublin, once again, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe they're overcoached or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand this passing around and keeping possession and slowing the game down. But maybe at times, if there's an option in front of you, if there's a player in front of you, play the pass, play the opportunity, play it into Kieran Kilkenny. Sometimes defense is the best form, or attack is the best form of defense. And like, use those options, use those spaces in front of you. It's all good passing it from side to side, but I don't know. I just feel like a little bit there towards the end. It was just a little bit sluggish. It wasn't the same intensity. There wasn't enough movement from the midfield. And Dublin were struggling. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what Tomas O'Shea and the lads are saying there, but Dublin certainly in the second half have struggled. They really, really have. Patrick Sharkey there, Colin Boyle needs to get on. Yeah, absolutely. And certainly we were speaking at half time, and we couldn't have imagined really that Mayo would find the way back. But as you said on the GAA Statsman podcast, I mean, it will be a 70-plus game. You know, could go to extra time, could go to penalties. And there'd be something romantic. There'd be something written about Dublin and Mayo going to penalties. There really would, wouldn't there? Because how many times, like, there's been so much has happened in the Dublin and Mayo rivalry down the years. And it would just be another huge chance, a huge opportunity for there to be more drama. Jim Gavin is the reason we win 5 in a row, and we haven't been the same since we left, says Charlie Norris. Yeah, I mean, think last year they were very impressive. Like, they were super impressive. The performance against Meath was unbelievable. One of the best Leinster final performances I've seen from Dublin ever. They were unbelievable that day, the way they moved the ball. Con O'Callaghan getting those goals. I mean, that catch from midair, it was unbelievable stuff against Cavan. Done what we needed to do. Impressive, brilliant against Mayo from the outfit as well, and then controlled the game as the game went on. But this year in particular, in the championship anyway, there's definitely been a lot of just uncharacteristicness, poor passing, losing the ball, in areas that we shouldn't be losing it. And we seem to be succumbing to the pressure a lot more as well. Like Meath, when they put Dublin under pressure, they got reward for it. Kildare never really put Dublin under any pressure, really. They never really took the game to Dublin. Mayo have got their rewards for it. And I think there's a lot of teams that will be looking at this and thinking, if you get at Dublin, if you press them, if you get in their faces, I mean, you could win the game. It's not impossible. Sean Bean says we need a classic goal by punching it in. Yeah. We need one of those goals straight from the throw in. That would be very impressive. Cheers anyone who's tuning in and leaving comments. 201 people watching at the moment. I mean, that's by far the number of, that's by far the most amount of people I've ever had in one of these streams. So I really, really do appreciate anyone who's tuning in, who's left a like or subscribe or anything like that. I really do appreciate it. Rory Kwan there saying any streams that you can watch the game. GAA Go, RT Player, plenty of good streams to watch it out there. Onfar coming back in there says, according to the commentary team, Dublin are running on empty. Well, now is the time to put that to bed. Come on, Dublin. Raised on songs and stories. Yeah, this is now the time that Dublin need to stand up. The bench needs to stand up. Like let's have a look at Dublin's bench. I'm going to have a look at it here. We've brought Tom Lahiff on, Sean Bugler, Con Basquel, Philly McMahon. I mean, Con Basquel nearly scored a goal, came close, put it wide, has had a few good moments, but hasn't scored. Owen Merchant's obviously gone off. On the bench there at the moment for Dublin, you've got Ryan Basquel who could come on. Aaron Byrne's another option as well. But would you bring Aaron Byrne on for a Dean Rock? I don't think you would. Or a Paddy Small? I don't think you would. Paulo Kofic Byrne, maybe he comes into the midfield instead of Brian Howard. Midfield might be a change because Dublin have definitely been getting overrun in the midfield quite a lot. So that definitely could be something they could look at. John Hopkins says from Mayo, love the videos, by the way. Yeah, cheers very much, John. Appreciate it. And Ronan as well. Appreciate the all the lovely comments. Is Dean Rock related to Barney Rock? I believe he is, yeah. I'm still curious to know why Robert Henley got I mean, I missed it unfortunately, but like why did he get to take the free again? If someone watching can let me know, I'd love to know. Because I'm not too sure. Did Philly McMahon do something or something? I don't know. How did Byrne not get a black card? Byrne. Definitely seen that Robert Henley done something. Definitely seen that he done something. We're going to have to be back in a quick second. Oh, here we go. Anyway, it's a long wait till extra time starts. Mr. Beast says, what's the score? Score is 13 apiece. McMahon ran across in front of the ball. Yeah, I was having a look on Twitter there. Yeah, I think Philly McMahon must have done something anyways. They're obviously looking at it here in the Sunday game, showing all the cynical fouls. There was a lot of cynical fouling. No doubt about it. Yellow card, like Davy Byrne getting a yellow card. Here we go now. I think I'm going to see it now on the Sunday on the match. Let me have a look. Was it James McCarthy with a foul? There's a lot going on here. Do we get Philly McMahon comes on, Kieran Kilkenny and I mean I didn't see anything in those replays, so I don't know. I don't really know what happened, to be honest with you. Me says, are you watching on RTE? I am. But obviously I'm not listening to the commentary so that I can provide my own commentary, of course. But yeah, Martin Collins says up the Dubs. Yeah, it's been hasn't been a great showing in the second half, and definitely a lot of pressure now on the Dubs in the second half. 13 points apiece. It's a raining, miserable day in Croke Park, and it could be very miserable for Dublin fans if they don't find a way to get over the line here. Aoife says ref is Dublin's 16th man. I mean, I wouldn't quite agree with that. I think there's been a lot of soft frees on both ends. You know, the ref has dished out yellows when he's needed to the Dublin players. There's been a lot of soft frees, no doubt about it. And Philly McMahon's obviously, you know, he always seems to be involved in these Dublin and Mayo games, even when he doesn't play that much. I mean, this is going to be rip roar and stuff now going down the home stretch. Really, really is. Just waiting to get going here. We're still, what are we waiting for here? How long is extra time? 10 minutes each side, but I mean, at this rate, we might be here for a while. We're still waiting for the game to be restarted. May Finnerty says, if Tyrone gets back in and they win against Kerry, what are the chances Mayo will win? They'd have a good opportunity against Tyrone, I'm sure. I mean, look, listen, Mayo will still have a great opportunity no matter who they play if they do come through this game. You know, you've toppled the team that everyone else has tried and tested over the past 6 years and failed. It will give them so much confidence. You know, Mayo's big hump has been beating Dublin down the years. It's been their problem. You know, if Mayo had beaten Dublin in 2017, they would have won the All-Ireland. 2016, probably 2015 in the semi-finals, maybe 2019 as well. Mayo could have won multiple All-Irelands had they have gotten past Dublin. Dublin on the attack. Robbie McDade has come off the bench. Or Sean Bugler, I should say. Sean Bugler putting the ball over the bar. 14 points to 13. Dereck running. Sean Bugler, I think he is a good player that can come off the bench. He is a player that can make a difference. Star Hurler 8 says extra time nearly on. Yeah, extra time is on. It started now. Joshua Down says, what happened at the 45? Didn't quite see it. I mean, it was definitely something got to do with Philly McMahon, and there was a few off the ball incidents. I'll definitely need to go back and watch that though. Cat Ryan says, bet there are a few Knockmore players on the team. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they won the county championship last year for the first time in 20 odd years. You've obviously got Kevin McLaughlin in there, Darren McHale. Like I thought, he should have been involved in the team last year, coming off the bench. He should have been an option last year because he's a great player, Darren McHale. One-point game here, Dublin. I've started extra time pretty well. Mayo now go down the attack. Could this be free-flowing, score from score, trade from trade? Score is 14-13. I will update it there now. Yeah, we've updated the score there. There's so many comments coming in here. I appreciate it. Patrick Gates there, please say hi to Joe and Paddy watching the stream in Greece. Yeah, hi Joe and Paddy. Hope you're all keeping well. Cheers. Hope Greece is nice. 14-14. Lovely bit of play there from Tommy Conroy. Lovely points. Oh, I would have loved to have been there at this game. And the crazy thing is, I had the tickets. I literally had was on Ticketmaster. I was in the queue. I was there. I had the tickets, and for whatever reason, it just, as soon as I entered the bank details, it wouldn't let me through. A lot of people wanted Mayo to win here at the moment. Adam says, my man just ran through 2 half-backs. Beast. Yeah, fantastic there from Tommy Conroy. Black card here for Colin Basquel. Intentional body collide was cutting off his path. Yeah, probably fair. I mean, did he see him? Was it intentional? I don't know. But here we go. I mean, look, listen, Mayo have the majority of extra time and an extra man. I mean, if there was ever a chance to beat Dublin, this is it. Long ball gets floated in. It's bouncing around. It's won by Dean Rock, who's doing defensive work. Plays it into Brian Fenton. Dublin just a little bit static at getting out. Like, is the engine there? I'm not sure it is. They win it's all good slowing the game down and playing it from side to side, but you're not winning. It's level. It's 14 apiece. Dublin on the ball again here, just playing it from side to side. I mean, how many times have we said that today? Philly McMahon wins a free. Looked a little soft. How many minutes in each half of extra time in Gaelic football? 10 minutes each half. And then if it's level, it goes to penalties. Dublin on the attack. Jesus, that's what you're doing. Sean Bugler there puts it wide. That's that's huge confidence boost. I mean, I just can't believe Dublin are in this situation. Like, so comfortable at half time, 10 points to 4, controlling the game, looking like the Dublin of last year. And then again, another lackluster second half performance. Tommy Conroy runs through, and Mayo are in front. Mayo go in front for the first time in the game. They lead by a point. And I think Mayo are going to win this game. I really do. And I think Tommy Conroy has probably been man of the match so far. Dublin have a massive test now. I mean, Dublin have won 6 All-Irelands in a row. They were going to lose at some point, and I know Griffin there is saying the choke is real. Yeah, I mean, it does look like Dublin are unfortunately choking a little bit here, but I do think at the same time they're well entitled to. Kevin McLaughlin. It's over the bar again. Mayo lead by 2. It's a wonderful point. $16 points to 14. How long left? Mayo come again. Oh, it's crumbling here. Ryan O'Donoghue. 3 points. Yeah, I think this is over, lads. Sure, it was a good ride while it lasted. At least it will stop all the split Dublin in 2 nonsense that we hear every year. Dublin running out over the sideline. Dean Rock with is that Dean Rock? It isn't. $14 comments coming in. I mean, smash a like, leave a subscribe if you could. Really appreciate it. Johnny Woodshed says, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Yeah, I mean, in the first half, we definitely couldn't have seen it coming, and it's happening, yeah. Oh my God, May, can't believe it. Let's go Mayo. I mean, the thing is though, do Mayo still win the All Ireland? I don't think. I still think Kerry will win. But I would like to see Mayo win it though. Raymond Byrne says, for someone given comments up here, for someone wearing a Dublin jersey, you're not showing so much hope. Well, I'm just being realistic, I'm just being honest, because like Paddy Smalls ran through there and put a chance wide. I mean, look, listen, if there's any team that could turn this around and win this game with 14 men, it probably is Dublin. But you are looking at it and you're thinking, in the past, like in 2019, Dublin were able to bring Kevin McManaman off the bench, Diarmuid Connolly off the bench. Bernard Brogan was on the bench and didn't even play. They don't have the same options here on the bench, and the reality is that, look, listen, it was gonna probably end at some point, and it's not over until the final whistle blows. But it does, like, Dublin look leggy here. They look tired, and I do think that Mayo at this moment in time should get over the line, barring something crazy, an own goal or something mad. But look, listen, it's not over. It's 3 points. I mean, if anyone could turn around, it would be Dublin. But I think Mayo are in a very good position here, and Mayo are now doing what Dublin would do and playing it from side to side, passing it around the back, and taking this thing out of the game. And Mayo are now playing Dublin at their own game. Janie George says, who would win on penalties? I don't know. It's a good question. It is a good question. I mean, it's a lottery on penalties. It really, really is. And look, listen, there's still a break. There's going to be a break here at half time, of extra time. So, and Mayo now hanging on to the ball, doing what Dublin were doing in the first half, or in the second half of normal time, if you remember, holding possession and cynical fouling. I suppose what goes around comes around, I guess. How long left? 10 minutes left to go. We're just going into extra time. I still think Dublin can turn it around, but we'll see. I mean, it is coming down the home stretch here. It really, really is. And I mean, at this moment in time, anyways, Mayo are looking good. Dublin need a point here. Kieran Kilkenny. Is it Dublin's ball? I think it is. Like, they just don't, like, the energy just doesn't quite seem to be there. How long is each half? 10 minutes. I mean, what was the point in that? A long ball getting floated into Brian Howard, who just fists it wide. I mean, surely, was there enough time to work a score? I don't know. But yeah, look, listen, going into the final 10 minutes here, I mean, that's the lovely Dublin lady there on the screen, dressed in blue and everything. Yeah, you've got Donny Vaughan watching in the stands. And look, listen, I mean, Mayo have been the better team up until this point. Dublin were unbelievable in the first half, but as we very well know, 70 minutes plus in Gaelic football, and you know, as poor as Mayo were in the first half, they weren't as poor as what Dublin were in the second half, and Mayo have certainly really kind of taken the opportunities when they've came. Tiernan Brawley says the score is on the screen. It is. Thank you for noticing, because I was beginning to wonder if that score wasn't on the screen. Theresa Mon says Mayo is doing proud. Dublin, you good for nothing. Egypt. I mean, there's no need to be salty, Theresa. I mean, look, listen, even when Dublin have beaten Mayo down the years in previous videos, I've always given credit to Mayo, and I think, you know, I'm sure a lot of people, if Dublin will lose this game, will jump for joy and love it. And look, listen, they deserve to banter Dublin fans, absolutely, no doubt about it. But look, listen, you can't take away what Dublin have achieved down the years, and there's still a long way to go. Still 10 minutes left. Still says 13-13. It should say 14-17. I mean, it would be the most Dublin thing ever to come back and win this game. It really would. Sean Farley says he's heartbroken. I mean, to be honest, like, you know, I'm 26 years of age. First 16 years of my life, I hadn't seen Dublin win an All-Ireland. And then in the next 10 years, they won 8 of the next 10 All-Irelands. So I remember what it was like in the past when Dublin lost. You know, I remember those days. So, you know, Shane O'Patton says there, nobody cares about what Dublin achieves. Nobody cares what Dublin achieves because they're a shower of thieving tramps. Fair enough, Shane. It sounds like you've got some personal issues there that you need to iron out. Not too sure on a live stream there is the best way to dish it out there. You know, it is just a game after all. Shane United says, I know Dublin all too well. I'm from Kerry, so 2011 still breaks my heart. You will get a goal and come back. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's looking unlikely though. Like, it really, really is. Like, the game is far from over. It's far from over. Like, there's 9 minutes to go. But it is looking unlikely, you know. Oh, here we go. There's a chance there for Ryan O'Donoghue, who ran through, puts it wide. Definitely an opportunity there for Mayo, and no foul there as well, puts it wide. There's a big chance though. 8 minutes left. Anthony Jones there saying, come on, Mayo, Cardiff going mad. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Mayo fans all over the world at the moment are really enjoying this. Dublin could still win it, but they could still win it. And certainly, you know, look, listen, I'm not giving in here or anything. We need to do something here. Yeah. Robbie McDade, like, he's been injured for the whole year. I mean, like a poor hand pass there. We win it back, though. Come on, Dublin. Come on, the lads. Let's have some faith. Let's keep the faith now. Let's keep the spirit. I mean, not much faith there. That was a poor pass. Heavy challenge by Paddy Small. Would like to see Mayo win, and I'm from Limerick. Yeah, look, listen, I'm sure all fans would love to see Dublin lose who are not from Dublin, because Dublin have been so dominant, you know. And obviously, you're a Limerick fan, so I'm sure it's been brilliant watching the Limerick hurlers be as dominant as they have been over the past couple of years. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of fans that would like to see Cork win it because Limerick have been so dominant, you know. That's kind of how it goes, but I suppose a lot of people don't really like Dubs a lot of the time anyways. Seven minutes to go. Still a 3-point game. Mad to think that Dublin, since the 35th minute, have kicked 4 points in the following 50 minutes now. So you'd have to say that it definitely hasn't been a great performance from Dublin. Cormac Costello's coming back in. Probably should have come back in earlier, really. Alan Ryan says, I want to thank you for very even commentary. Yeah, very much appreciate that, mate. Look, listen, I obviously am a huge Dublin fan, but trying to keep it unbiased. But if Dublin were to score a last-minute goal here, I mean, there'd be some scenes. Let's put it that way. $272 people watching. If you could leave a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. You know, since I started this channel, actually, as a matter of fact, back in 2017, Dublin have never lost in the championship. So this will be a first, and hopefully with 5 minutes to go, that will remain. Mayo need to score at least one more point. Yeah. I mean, at 1 point, to bring it down to 4 points would make it a very, very, very hard for Dublin to turn around from there. I mean, just need to win the ball back here. Going down the home stretch, 4 minutes to go. Raymond Byrne, I'm just having the crack. If we lose the team I would most want to beat us is Mayo. Yeah, I don't know. You'd say that, but at the same time, it's going to be a hard one to take. I mean, defeats are always hard to take, and this would be a hard one to take, I'm sure. But sure, look, listen. 6 years of not losing. I mean, like, you could never have imagined that. We'll see what happens. Dublin just need a score just to slow down the just to build a bit of momentum. Then they can kick another few points, maybe win a kick out. Like, you never know. If we're going for a goal in the last minute, if there's anyone to do it, it's probably Dublin. But we need to give ourselves a chance. And an extra time, in my opinion, we just haven't created enough. There hasn't been enough opportunities. We haven't created enough space. The turnovers from Mayo have been unbelievable. Mayo have done what they've needed to do. Brian Fenton into Kieran Kilkenny. Come on, lads. Let's do something here. Kieran Kilkenny into Dean Rock. He goes down. Mayo have the ball back. That's a 45. It's a wide. Not a 45, no. Doesn't look like it anyways. Here we go. Short kick out. Did we win that? No. What happened here? Does Dublin have a free, do they? Or do Mayo have a free? Mayo have the ball. Brilliant bit of work there from Paddy Durkin. Plays it in. Can Dublin win it? Dublin do win it. Kieran Kilkenny offloads it. Dublin on the drive here with Colin Basquel. Oh, he's done really well. Put it. No free. Mayo have it now. Wow. Jesus, like. Rian O'Donnell says, I think Ronnie wants to show the match. I mean, I've said numerous times throughout this stream, that I obviously can't show the match, because of copyright and all the rest. I mean, there are plenty of places where you can watch the match. RTE Player, RTE, GAA Go. I mean, the match is being televised. 2 minutes left to go. I mean, fair play to Mayo. Look, listen, they've been the better team, and if they go on to win it, they will deserve it. There'll be no saltiness or throwing the toys out of the pram. I will record a match reaction after where I give my thoughts and reaction to the game. So, Ryan Fenton. It just seems like we've been trying to go for goals too quick, and we've panicked. And we haven't seen that from Dublin down the years. In the past couple of years, there's panic in the final stages. Brian Fenton with a poor pass, and Aidan O'Shea coming back on. Three minutes. United 305. Red Devil says, Mayo man here, I presume. We always bottle it in the final. Yeah, look, listen, it would be the most Mayo thing ever to finally end the Dublin's reign and lose in the final. But look, listen, Mayo fans deserve to enjoy this if they do win this. Philly McMahon goes long. Oh, there's a chance here. Oh, it's gone out for a 45, and Costello knows he should have passed it. Oh. And yeah, look, listen, I mean, we'll see what happens here now. I'd imagine he'll play it in short. Free out. Yeah. Yeah, fair play. A lot of red and green hearts coming in. And look, listen, if you win the game, fair play. Well deserved of the victory. James McCarthy gets black carded. There was always a chance that Mayo were going to win this game. Dublin had been slow coming into the championship, and it does look like that's going to happen now. Is there one last roll of the dice? The Dublin dice, is there one last? It doesn't look like it. Johnny Woolshed says, appreciate the commentary. I liked and subscribed. Looking forward to the match reaction. Yeah. Yeah, cheers, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support in this. I mean, 365 people watching. Like, normally I'd only get about 10 or 15 people watching these. So, like, really, really do appreciate it. But, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to need a bottle of whiskey now after this. Yeah, I think a bottle of whiskey, bottle of Jameson or something, drown the sorrows. I mean, the one weekend to keep it to not drink. Fair play to Mayo. They've won the game. The 5 in a row, the 6 in a row is over, and Mayo have officially beaten Dublin. They have qualified for the All-Ireland final for the second year in a row. They've beaten Dublin by 3 points. Massive congratulations to Mayo. Look, listen, by far the better team on the day, and Dublin were poor, really poor in the second half, no question about it. Huge result for James Horan and Mayo. And for Mayo fans, look, listen, Mayo fans have had a lot of heartbreak down the years, and they deserve the moment. So fair play. Congratulations. As a Dublin fan, it feels weird. Like, it feels like, I actually feel a bit relieved. Like, I feel a bit relieved because it was going to happen. Dublin were going to get beaten one day. They'd won 6 All-Irelands in a row. I mean, look, listen, Dublin won a lot of these games by a point and 2 points and different things like that. At some stage, Dublin were going to get beat. It was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It was going to happen. And it's happened. And look, listen, fair play. Congratulations to Mayo. You've done it. Congratulations. You've done it. I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. I'm a bit speechless right now. It kind of feels like a pet's died or something like that. But yeah, look, listen, fair play to Mayo. Huge results. At least you didn't get knocked out going for 10 in a row. Yeah, there's always a positive. Yeah, look, I mean, huge victory for Mayo. Like, in the second half, their bench made a massive difference. They turned the tide. Brian Walsh, James Carr were unbelievable. Matty Rowan was brilliant as well. Lee Keegan, Tommy Conroy really stepped it up in the second half. He was brilliant. And, we were saying kind of coming into the game and in podcasts and stuff like that that there was a lot of 2012 vibes about this. 2012 kind of vibes. And I think that's kind of how it happened in the end. It was like, okay, but it was the opposite way around. Dublin were in the first half really good, and then in the second half faded, whereas actually in the main, and like, what was the score of that 2012 game? It might have even been the same score. I'm actually going to check that now. Dublin versus Mayo in 2012 was 19-16, and this was 17-14. So I mean, it wasn't far off. It wasn't far off. But yeah, look, listen, that's it. Anyways, fair play to Mayo. I will record a match reaction after, and that'll be live as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably do that in about 5 to 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes time. I'll just go make myself a quick bottle of whiskey or can or something, or drown my sorrows a little bit. Donegal won in 2012. Yeah, they did, but Mayo beat Dublin in the semi-final. So yeah, I'll probably do that and then do a match reaction anyways. But massive congratulations to Mayo, huge victory, 17 points to 14, and the 6 in a row is over.